Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with Major League Baseball, the MLB, the American League, National League, or their sponsors. Today, we are giving you live English reports on the game being played between the San Diego Padres and the New York Mets. And hope English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. This is the third and final game of a three-game set, and the Padres have taken the first two. They went on Friday night behind the pitching of Yu Darvish as they knocked off the Mets 4-1. And last night, Blake Snell took to the bump, and he knocked off the Mets 2-1. So today, it'll be the final game of the series as the Padres are looking to complete the sweep. We'll begin by first giving you the starting lineups, and that'll be for the visiting San Diego Padres. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 10 is Jurickson Profar. Batting second and playing second base, wearing number 9, is Jake Cronenworth. Hitting third and playing third base, wearing number 13, is Manny Machado. In the cleanup spot and in right field, wearing number 16, is Nomar Mazara. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 45, is Luke Voigt. Batting sixth at first base, wearing number 30, is Eric Hosmer. Hitting seventh and doing the catching, wearing number 26, is Austin Nola. Batting eighth at shortstop, wearing number 7, is Ha-Seong Kim. And batting ninth in center field, wearing number 43, is Esteury Ruiz. And they are going to be facing the veteran right-hander Carlos Carrasco, the other piece that came with Francisco Lindor in the trade with the Cleveland Guardians season and change ago, and that is Carrasco taking the mound. He is 10-4 on the year. He's worked 99 innings. He's allowed 106 hits, 47 runs, all earned. He's walked 26 and struck at 100. He's got an ERA of 4.27. So that's the lineup for the visiting San Diego Padres and who they're facing. Now the home team for the New York Mets. Leading off and in center field, wearing number 9, is Brandon Nimmo. Hitting second in right field, number 6, is Starling Marte. Hitting third and playing shortstop, wearing number 12, is Francisco Lindor. And the cleanup spot at first base, wearing number 20, is Pete Alonso. Batting fifth at second base, wearing number 1, is Jeff McNeil. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is the newly acquired Dan Vogelbach. Batting seventh and in left field, wearing number 19, is Mark Canha. Hitting eighth and playing third base, wearing number 13, is Luis Guillorme. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 3, is Thomas Nido. And they are going to be facing Joe Musgrove, who enters the ballgame tonight with an 8-2 record. He's worked 104 innings. He's allowed 78 hits, 32 runs, 28 of which have been earned. He's walked 23 and struck out 102. He's got an ERA on the season of 2.42. Well, those are your starting lineups, and we'll be ready to get this one underway in about 3 minutes' time. I'm glad you guys could be here with us, whether you listen live or on delay. It's always a pleasure. We'll be back here in just a couple moments after this from our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game for all your baseball entertainment needs.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs, we have pounds, we have Deutschmarks, we have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. We are still a couple of minutes away from the first pitch as the Padres and the Mets are ready to go head-to-head. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in about 40 seconds with all the action.
checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's Dave's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. And the Mets have taken the field, and Carlos Carrasco is just completing his warm-up tosses. We're about ready to get this one underway. It is, we said, it is the third game of a three-game set where the San Diego Padres have won the first two. The children who ran out onto the field with the players for their introductions are now leaving the field. And Carrasco is ready to take over here. He has given the Mets what they expected that he would have given them last year. He's got double-digit wins. His ERA is a bit fluffed up, but he is going to be taking over tonight, and he is going to be looking for his 11th win of the season. He has been a competitor wherever he's been, and he's a veteran presence in the locker room, and he has helped stabilize the New York Mets staff. So he is just finishing his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. It'll be the top of the order in Jerkson Profar, Jake Cronenworth, and Manny Machado to face the right-hander. And it is going to be a run-starved New York Mets offense that's going to have to find a way against Joe Musgrove to be able to cobble up some runs. Carrasco's going to have to pitch a little bit better than Musgrove, that's for sure. So the crowd is a big one in Queens tonight. It's a healthy crowd, and it'll be almost a full capacity. It is Sunday night baseball ready to go. The temperature for this one is 93 degrees, and it is clear skies in New York. It is a hot one, and much like most of the United States, it is a hot time of the year for sure. The right-hander Carrasco is going to be throwing to the catcher Thomas Nito, and we've got the Padres ready to go here with Profar stepping up to bat. So Profar on the season is hitting .241. He's got 8 homers and 38 runs batted in. And Carrasco kicks and delivers the first pitch of a ball game, and it's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball that misses off the outside corner for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We got Eric in the house tonight. Welcome in, Eric. We appreciate you for being here. And there's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. My friend Eric had mentioned it was, I think, Tokyo Brandon last night was the channel he said to go and check out. And I did. I went and looked at it today. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1 on Profar. But unfortunately, I didn't see anything current off of his channel. The most he has had stuff was from last year. So not a lot of stuff from Tokyo Brandon, which I was a bit surprised. I thought he would be pumping out some information on the stuff that we were talking about in the chat last night. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball that just runs off the outside corner, and the count is now 3-1 to Profar. So 3 balls and 1 strike. I see Eric says his YouTube channel has moved to Wager Talks channel. Okay, maybe I'll check that one out, because I did look at Tokyo Brandon. As I said, it was something that was suggested by you guys last night. There's a fastball swung on. It is taken on 1 hop by the second baseman. He fires over to first, and that is going to retire Profar on a ground out, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. And we've got Vipulin in the house tonight. We welcome you as well. Thanks for stopping by. Friend Eric said he did his own channel for a while, and then he got gobbled up by a larger channel. That's kind of cool. He had about 12 or 1,300 people, I think, on his own channel at that point. So here comes Jake Cronenworth to the plate. Cronenworth waiting on the first offering from Carrasco. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up in the infield. Drifting over is the shortstop, Lindor, who is to the right of second base. And he's going to make the catch. And Cronenworth is gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs. Is going to bring up the third baseman, Manny Machado. For Machado on the season, he's hitting .298. He's got 16 homers and 53 runs batted in. Machado really started the season off hot. He was among the leaders in batting average. And he has really tailed off as the lady was hitting in the upper 300s for the first 6-7 weeks of the season, but he has slowed himself down. He could probably use the protection of Fernando Tatis Jr. in the lineup with him. Their first pitch to Machado is a fastball swung on, and it's grounded through the shift into left field, just past the glove of Jeff McNeil. So Machado is aboard with a single. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Nomar Mazara. For Mazara, he's batting .286 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 17 RBIs. I have to say, I'm kind of pleased to see that Mazara's landed in San Diego. Last season did not go well for him as he had signed a deal with the Detroit Tigers. He was ultimately released. Prior to that, he was with the White Sox, and his time didn't quite go so well there. His time in the Texas Ranger uniform, he was pretty good down in Texas, and so he's looking to regain that form a little bit. There's the first offering to Mazara. It's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Mazara is hitting .286 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 17 RBIs. He's getting an opportunity to play in right field tonight. Here comes the offering now from Carrasco, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Machado, and the throw is not in time, but boy, it was pretty close. Machado went in there standing up. The tag was applied by Luis Guillorme. I think it was a lot closer than maybe what that should have been, but it's a base hit single for Mazara. And Machado goes first to third. As we look on the replay, the ball actually beat him there in time. The tag was a little bit high. I don't think they're going to review this, but we are going to take a look at this. That is definitely a poor base running blunder by either the base runner or by the third base coach. We're watching the third base coach to see if he's showing him to point down. He is kind of pointing, but it's not exactly one of the most emphatic pieces to be able to slide. To me, it looked like he was telling him to stand straight up. I don't know who that is, if that's Matt Williams or not, to be the third base coach for the Padres. So that brings Luke Voigt to the plate, and the first pitch he sees is a changeup swung on, and he smokes this one foul down the left field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Defensively tonight for the New York Mets, the outfield from left to right is Mark Canha. The center fielder is Brandon Nimmo. Right fielder is Starling Marte. Around the horn from first to third, Pete Alonso's at first. It's Jeff McNeil at second. The shortstop is Frankie Lindor. The third baseman is Luis Guillorme. Of course, the battery is Carrasco and Nido. So no balls and one strike to Voigt. He waggles the bat, and he's waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Carrasco, who kicks and delivers. It's a changeup that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Voigt. The umpires for tonight's game, it's DJ Rayburn behind the plate. First base umpire is Angel Hernandez. James Hoya is working second, and in the rocking chair, it is Jim Wolf at third. There is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. It looked like Voigt wanted to put the Padres up with a 3-0 lead. It is Matt Williams who is the third base coach for the Padres, and out of the conversation there with Machado, I would have to say, though, it was probably not the most emphatic sign by the third base coach to hit the dirt and slide. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Voigt. There is some pop in the middle part of the order for the Padres with Machado and Voigt in double-digit home runs. Mazara certainly has some pop in the stick as well, although with 2 home runs this year in limited play hasn't shown enough of that yet. Now here's the pitch from Carrasco. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Eric Hosmer also has 7 home runs this year. He's can put the ball in the seats. He's not a big-time home run hitter, but he can get his fair share, 15 to 25 home runs every year. Injuries have slowed him down this year a little bit in the middle part of the order, as he has missed some time. Here comes the 2-2 offering. There is a changeup that misses down and in, and now the count is 3-2. Well, the runner at first, Mazara, will be off to the races as soon as Carrasco delivers to the plate. Watching that throw again as they give it on the replay and how Machado just basically kind of cruised in there. And there was no real sense of urgency. It looked like he was slowing up on the play. There's a changeup that misses down. That's going to be ball 4 as Voit has drawn himself a walk. That's going to load the bases here with 2 out. Everything has started with 2 out as Profar and Cronenworth went down quickly. Then a single to Machado, a single by Mazara, and now a walk to Voit has loaded the bases. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. For Hosmer, he's batting .275 on the season. He's got 7 homers to go with 37 runs batted in. So the bases are full of Padres. And here comes the offering from Carrasco. It's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. To Eric Hosmer. Carrasco leans in. He gets the sign from the catcher Nito pretty much straight away for playing Hosmer in this situation. He checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Hosmer. Hosmer's had himself a decent series. So far, he was a contributor in the Friday night victory as he went the other way with a home run. One of his 7 on the campaign, and there's a changeup that just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. Well, there's nowhere to put Hosmer. They're going to have to give him something to hit. The right-hander Carrasco is now about to offer his 20th pitch of the inning. So Hosmer digs himself in. He wheels the bat. He's got some pink lizard skin on his bat. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 2-2. It almost looked like Hosmer was guessing on that pitch. He was anticipating it would be something else, and he swung right through it. Don't necessarily need the grand slam as much as they need a hard hit ball into the outfield. That'll cash a couple of runs here. So here's the 2-2 offering now to Hosmer. Carrasco having some difficulty getting the signal from his catcher. Now they're ready to go. He holds at the belt. He checks the runner Mazara at second, and now he delivers. And then as a changeup swung on, it is grounded to the right side. It is fielded by a sliding Jeff McNeil. He gets up and he throws to first. And Hosmer is going to be retired. That's going to be a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. So for the Padres in the first inning, they threaten, but they don't score. There were no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. We're through a half an inning. It is the San Diego Padres 0, the New York Mets coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call when we return after this. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. It's always the pleasure to have you. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel, and in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. We'll be right back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 is the score. Mets are coming to bat. Welcome back, everybody. And the right-hander Joe Musgrove has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get the bottom of the first inning underway. It'll be Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, and Francisco Lindor to face the right-hander. For Brandon Nimmo, he is batting .267 on the season. He's got 9 homers and 33 runs batted in. He'll be ready to face Nimmo. Nimmo, the left-handed hitting leadoff hitter for the Mets. Not too many players out of the state of Wyoming. Was a 2011 draft. There's a fastball that misses and the count is 1-0. Nimmo was the 13th overall pick selected by the Mets out of East High School in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He waggles the bat, and here he's waiting. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Nimmo. There have been 16 players in the history of Major League Baseball that were born in the state of Wyoming. And there were actually some all-stars, 3 different times there were all-stars that have appeared in the Midsummer Classic. The breaking ball misses down and it counts 2-1. Arguably, the one I probably remember the most more recently was Tom Browning of the Cincinnati Reds. Also, John Buck made it. He was a catcher. And also Dick Ellsworth, we have to go back into the late 50s and 60s and early 70s for his time. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-1 to Nimmo. But other players that maybe some of our listeners may remember from more recent time. Bucky Jacobson had himself 42 games in the big leagues. He was there for a little bit. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 3-2. Mike Lansing spent 9 seasons in the big leagues. He was a middle infielder type. And then also Dan Spillner back in the mid-70s to the early 80s. He spent quite a bit of time in the big leagues as well. Those are probably the ones that have had the most time. Mike Devereaux is also another one. Devereaux, he was a Baltimore Oriole, played from 87 to 98. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle. It is fielded by the shortstop, Kim, who's right over top of second base. He throws to first, and Nimmo is retired on the ground out 6-3. He has gone for out number 1. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Starling Marte. For Starling Marte, he's batting .294 on the season. He's got 9 homers and 41 runs batted in. Marte became one of the first players in all of Major League Baseball. I believe he was the first in Major League history last year to finish in top 10 in stolen bases in both the American and National League. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Of course, he was with the Oakland Athletics in the back half of the season. After being acquired from the Marlins, he was right up there in the stolen base department. There's a breaking ball delivered from Musgrove that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. This year, he's only got 12 to his name. Doesn't have to run as much when you're in New York, as you've got some big bats behind him in Lindor, Alonso, and McNeil. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes now to 1-2 on Marte. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defensively for the Padres, from left to right, it is Profar in left. The center fielder is Esteury Ruiz. Right fielder is Nomar Mazara. Around the horn from first to third, it's Hosmer at first, Cronenworth at second, Ha-Seong Kim's the shortstop. And the third baseman is Manny Machado with the battery of Musgrove and Nola. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Drifting back on it, just in front of the warning track, is Mazara. He makes the catch. 2 up and 2 away here in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Francisco Lindor. For Lindor on the season, he's batting .245. He's got 16 homers and 66 runs batted in. Between him and Pete Alonso, they can really bring home the runs. One would expect that Lindor is probably going to have himself a 100 RBI season, and Pete Alonso is only 22 shy of that. So between those 2 players, one would have to think that they're probably going to combine for 100 runs driven in. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. You have to tip your hat to the players ahead of them for setting the table, like Marte and Nimmo. able to get on base is going to help those guys be able to drive in the runs. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count's now 1-1 strike. Lindor, of course, acquired from the Guardians in that deal, or at the time, the Indians, so to speak. He's in his second season in New York. Last year, over and as well, he's already almost matched some of his offensive numbers from last season. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Last year, he hit 20 homers and drove in 63 runs. Well, he's only a few short of that home run mark, and he's already passed the RBI department in 30 less games. So here comes the 1-2 offering to the switch-hitting Lindor, who's batting from the left side against the right-hander Musgrove. He waggles the bat, waiting on the offering. Musgrove comes into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. In his career, Lindor is a 4-time All-Star and a 2-time Gold Glove winner and a 2-time Silver Slugger. I remember a number of years ago when the Toronto Blue Jays, we had an opportunity to do some stuff with those guys, and when they were scouting Lindor before the draft, so this would have been either 2010 or 2011 before the draft, as he was drafted in 2011. I think it was the 2011 draft year, as that breaking ball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2 still. They were concerned about Lindor, that they thought he might have been he was starting to look at the end of his high school years like a college linebacker. He'd really started to beef up. They weren't necessarily convinced that he was going to play shortstop at the big league level for as long as he did. And that first round of the draft produced quite a few shortstops in the top pick. There was, of course, Addison Russell, who was taken by the Oakland Athletics, who went on to play with the Cubs. Javi Baez was drafted as a shortstop right after Lindor was taken. And here's the pitch from Musgrove. It's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. Count remains still at 1-2. You look at some of the other shortstops. Joe Panik was with the Giants, was taken as a shortstop, and you had Levi Michael, who was taken by the Twins, who never got to the big leagues. And some of the supplemental picks, Jake Hager was a shortstop. Brandon Martin never got to the big leagues from the Rays. There's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Lindor is retired on strikes for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Mets. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through one complete. It is the Padres 0 and the New York Mets 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. After this, we got Mick in the house, and we appreciate you for stopping in. Hold tight. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis, and your support of our channel. He is a San Diego Padre native and fan. We appreciate your support. We'll be back in 45 seconds with the call right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for the Padres in their half of the second inning. That means it's going to be Austin Nola, Ha-Seong Kim, and Esteury Ruiz as they will be taking over here in the top of the second inning to face the right-hander Carlos Carrasco. Just taking a look at some of the prospects in both the organizations and who has made their way to the big leagues and who is waiting to come to the big leagues. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Austin Nola. Nola on the season is batting .244. He's got a couple homers and 25 RBIs. The top prospect considered right now in the San Diego organization is a fellow by the name of Robert Hassel III. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. He's currently playing in high A. He's hitting at .314. He's got himself 9 homers and 50 runs batted in. We start thinking about trade pieces. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And the count is 1-2. If the Padres are going to be making a move at the deadline, will be the players that they have in their system. They'll be the prospects that are more likely to move. When you look at the Padres as a whole, as there's a changeup that misses inside, the count goes to 2-2 on Nola. Most of this team has been built through the trades. They don't really keep their prospects along. Or through free agency, as Jerks and Profar had come through Oakland via Texas. Cronenworth was acquired in a trade as there's a fastball that misses outside. He was originally a Tampa Bay Ray. Andy Machado, the free agent signing, who had a short stop in Los Angeles with the Dodgers, but played most of his career in Baltimore. Omar Mazara was picked off the scrap heap off the waiver wire. Here's the 3-2 offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 3-2. Luke Voigt came over from the Yankees in a trade. Hosmer was a former Kansas City Royal, originally a Royal draft pick. Austin Nola acquired in a trade from the Seattle Mariners. Ha-Seong Kim was a free agent. Can't really call him homegrown as he was brought in from Korea. And there's the 3-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Nola is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, it's going to bring up Ha-Seong Kim. The last guy that I was going to mention was Esteury Ruiz, and he is a 23-year-old hit the bottom of the batting tonight. So Ruiz was originally with the Kansas Royals Dominican Summer League team a number of years ago, and then he came to the Padres. So even he is not a homegrown player. He has played in their system, though. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away to Kim. Count is 0-1. So don't expect that any of these prospects for the San Diego Padres are going to be around, or maybe even in a Padre uniform, probably used as trade pieces to bring in some pieces for the big league club. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-2 to count. For Ha-Seong Kim, he's had a much better year this year. He's batting .239 with 5 homers and 31 RBIs. Still not the numbers that we saw in the Korean League, but he has been able to improve upon his career numbers from last season. Hitting about 20 points higher than his career average. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. He has 5 homers and 31 RBIs, and of course he's been, in some ways, a relief that they're able to play him at shortstop and replace and really not miss a beat so much at the shortstop position, with Fernando Tatis Jr. being out for the pretty much most of the season. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to left field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of the left fielder, Mark Canha. With 2 strikes, Ha-Seong Kim is aboard with a single. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Esteury Ruiz. For Ruiz, he's batting .263. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. He's getting the nod in center field. This is his 9th big league game. He's 5-19 with a couple extra base hits, a double and a triple. He's also got a stolen base. So Ruiz getting the nod in center. And here's the first pitch from Carrasco. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. As we were saying about those other prospects, so after Robert Hassel. The Padres have a prospect in Luis Campusano. And also James Wood, another player that they had drafted. Wood is having himself a fine year this year as well. In the minor leagues, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1 to Ruiz. So those are the specific positional players, and one would have to think if there's any type of splash, you're going to have to give up one or maybe two of some of those guys to bring something back in return. The top pitching prospect, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2. Mackenzie Gore is up with the big club. I really can't see Mackenzie Gore going anywhere. You never know, but one would have to think that he is the one. All the rest of the pitching prospects, they've only got two in their top 10. Reese Nur and Robert Gasser are two pitching prospects, and Nur is not having himself a very good season this year. He's been roughed up a little bit. As Carrasco throws over to first base, and diving back is the runner Kim. Kim can run a little bit. He's got 5 stolen bases on the year. That's the second most of any Padre in the lineup tonight. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count goes now to 2-2 on Ruiz. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ruiz digs himself back in and waiting on the offering here from right-hander Carrasco. As Carrasco holds at the belt, he now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. That keeps the count at 2-2. Not been an easy inning plus for Carlos Carrasco. He's had to work so far tonight. He threw 21 pitches in the first inning. He's already got 16 here in the second. I think that the Mets want to try to get at least 5 innings out of their workhorse, which is what he's been this year. Here comes the pitch, and it's a fastball swung on and tapped. Foul right at the dish. Keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jurickson Profar will await his turn on deck. So Carrasco gets himself a new baseball, and Ruiz gets himself set back in the box. He leans in. He gets the sign from Nito. He holds at the belt, and here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle to Lindor at short. Over to second for 1. Back to first. And it's not in time. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Kim at second, 6-4 for out number 2. And Ruiz, who runs pretty good, is able to beat the throw out on the return side. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Jurickson Profar. This will be a situation where we want to keep our eye on Ruiz. He's got 1 stolen base on the year, and he has been caught once. But one would have to think that this is an opportunity where they're going to try to take second base. If he gets thrown out, they've got the top of the order coming up next inning. If he steals the base, then he's going to be in scoring position, or they've got somebody to drive him in, and they're concerned as they throw over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Ruiz. Profar tonight is 0 for 1. He's grounded to second his first time up. He's seen his average dip to 240. He's slowly been getting it together. He started off the season struggling a little bit, but Profar has started to play much better recently. There's another throw over to first, and the umpire, Angel Hernandez, working off a 1 knee to make the safe call. So again, Carrasco leans in and gets the sign from Nito. The runner at first, Ruiz, is inching off of the base. Holding at the belt is Carrasco, and now he steps off. And as he steps off, the base runner, Ruiz, returns to first. So a little bit of cat and mouse going on with the runner and the pitcher right now as Carrasco's trying to freeze the runner. He does look like he wants to run, and there they throw over again, and this time he's back in time. That was a little bit closer. Angel Hernandez came up with the safe side. It looked like Ruiz had got cut up in between steps. The tag, though, was a little bit on the high side. It was up around the shoulder. by Alonso. I'm not sure if I really like the way that Alonso was positioned. He has to grab the ball, and then he has to really swing back across his body to apply the tag. Let that ball travel a little bit more. Probably has a better opportunity. And there's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is 1-0 to Profar. So 1 ball and no strikes. It's a hot evening in New York. We said at game time it was 93 degrees. There is humidity in the area as well. There goes the runner, and squaring the bunt and pulling back is he goes head first into second base, and the second base umpire, James Hoy, has ruled him out. I'm not sure if it's because he went past the bag. We're going to see if they're going to take a look at it. But the way the Mets are leaving the field, it looks like they're confident that they have retired Ruiz on a caught stealing. Let's see if we're going to get a replay on this, but it looks like he is finished. He went head first into the bag. He was safe, and the tag was held on him. I think this one here, I wonder if they're going to have a look at this. But I don't know if the Padres are going to challenge it or not. It looked like, first of all, he got there easily. Then his hand lost contact, but his leg ran up the bag. His foot was able to stay in contact unless his foot left the bag, or unless he was ridden off. But we're going to look again at the replay here, as we're not going anywhere yet. I think he was able to stay right through the base. Was able to stay on the bag. Now, that's where it is. The tag was applied by Lindor, and he ran him off the base. So you can see the separation between the foot and the glove. Even if this goes to be challenged, I think the runner is going to be retired on a caught stealing. 2 to stick. So savvy move there by Lindor to ride him off the base. They are going to review here, so hang tight, everybody. We'll get you that review. So I think he was there in time, but it was the separation between the foot and the tag that applied. And as I said, I think that Lindor was able to use the momentum of the base stealer to push him off of the base. But once we get this here, we'll end the inning, and then we'll come back and give you the bottom of the second. But we're just waiting right now for the official call from the umpires who are looking at this on review. Shouldn't have to take very long on that one. You can clearly see it as the tag was applied, and it's a good inch or 2 inches off of the bag once he'd gone through. As we said, Frankie Lindor using his veteran savvy to be able to ride him off the base. It's kind of a wasted challenge. And here we go. The call is it's going to be out, and Ruiz is gone for out number 3. So that's going to do it for the Padres in their half of the second inning. There was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Padres nothing and the Mets nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this with more action. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher once again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. We'll be back in just a few moments after this. We appreciate you guys for being here to check this one out tonight. Nothing, Padres and the Mets. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the New York Met batting order coming up to face the right-hander Joe Musgrove. It'll be Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, and Dan Vogelbach, as they are going to be getting things going here in the bottom of the second inning. Sometimes we really malign the umpires for their lack of calls or missed calls. But I have to say that James Hoy there really hung in on the play. And as the runner had overslid the bag at second base, he held making the decision and then made the right call as Ruiz had overslid the base. As I said, Lindor used the momentum of the runner to be able to guide him off of the base to get the tag, but that is what happens sometimes when they are moving in that direction. So it is going to be Alonso, McNeil, and Vogelbach here to face the right-hander Musgrove as he's just completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get back at it. And the first pitch delivered to Alonso is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that swung at and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Alonso batting .271 on the season. He's got 24 homers and 78 runs batted in. As we said, between him and Lindor, they are major run producers in the middle part of the order. I would say he has to pick up the pace if he's going to hit 40 this year, but he should hit mid-upper 30s. There's a fastball misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. So this is the pitch to Alonso. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1. Flashed up a stat on the board there, and it said that the only Mets player to ever lead the National League in RBIs was Howard Johnson a number of years ago. I remember Hojo as a Detroit Tiger. That was who he came up. I believe Hojo was flipped for Walt Terrell. I have to go back and see if my memory serves me correct, as there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and the count is now 2-2. That was right around the 1984-85 season. Tigers won the World Series in 84. 85 would have been the time he would have been flipped, as I said, with Terrell coming the other way. There was a changeup that swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is now 2-2 to Alonso. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. All-star Jeff McNeil waits his turn on deck. They say that McNeil might be one of the best athletes on that entire New York Met ball club. Very physical guy, strong guy. And here comes the 2-2 offering. It's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to Angel Hernandez at first base, but they say Alonso didn't go, and that's going to run the count now to 3-2. I have to give your hats off a little bit to Pete Alonso. He has had a really strong rookie year, and then he tailed off in his sophomore year. Had a bit of a sophomore jinx, hitting 53 homers in that rookie year. And there's a breaking ball outside. Again, they go down to the first base umpire, Angel Hernandez. And again, Hernandez says he didn't go, and that's going to be ball 4. Alonso's got himself a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the second inning. I'll break the second baseman, Jeff McNeil. Get the view on that one. I think Alonso did do a pretty good job of being able to hold that one up. And more than anything, it's probably a home field call, home field advantage. It was the first time this year that Alonso was an all-star since 2018. So he's a 2-time all-star, but a 3-time participant in the Derby. He was the Rookie of the Year award winner in 2019. And here's the offering now to McNeil. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count's 1-0. For McNeil on the season, he's hitting .297. He's got those 4 homers and 35 RBIs. Looks like he has found a place at second base. Talk a couple of years ago that they were going to make him a third baseman, and then they thought about moving him in the outfield, and now it looks like they finally settled at the second base position. There's a fastball swung on. It is driven into left center field. Racing over is Ruiz. He dives and makes the catch. And that is going to retire McNeil. I'm not sure if that necessarily warranted a dive, but it was a out nonetheless as McNeil is gone for the first out. I'm looking at that. Ruiz is retired McNeil for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Dan Vogelbach. Vogelbach was recently acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he's getting the start tonight. This is going to be his first at bat in a Mets uniform. So the heavy set left-handed batter up to the dish. And here comes the pitch from Musgrove. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The Pirates had Vogelbach hitting in the leadoff spot a little bit this year. He was hitting .228 with the Pirates with 12 homers and 34 runs batted in. Every time I see Vogelbach, he reminds me a lot of Bob Hamlin, who used to play with the Kansas City Royals. There's a changeup that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I also think the Hammer spent some time with the Tigers as well, but he was a big fella, as is Vogelbach. I'd be curious to know if he's the largest man ever to hit leadoff in the big leagues. They list him at 270 pounds, 6 feet tall. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. Vogelbach was an all-star in his career, a one-time all-star back in 2019 with the Mariners. He hit 30 homers and drove in 76 runs that year. He's never been able to regain that form since. This has been his best offensive production since that year with the 12 homers and 34 RBIs. There's a fastball that's upstairs. He checks his swing, but they said he went around. As Vogelbach himself probably agreed as he was turning around and walking back to the dugout. He's gone for out number 2. It's going to leave it up to the left fielder, Mark Canha. For Canha on the season, he's batting .265. He's got 7 homers and 31 runs batted in. He played with the Oakland Athletic Organization for the first 7 years of his career. He joined the Mets in the offseason. And he's got himself a pretty decent campaign going here. 33-year-old waiting on the offering. The breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. And they say that actually came in and hit him. We're going to have to take a quick look at that one. If it did, that's the one you want to get hit by. It must have just hit the sleeve. Home plate umpire DJ Rayburn was confident that it hit him, and they've sent him down to first base. So Canha's aboard. That's going to advance Alonso to second, and it's going to bring up Luis Guillorme. I want to see that one again because it didn't even look like he even sold it. Canha didn't even think about running to first base, and then the umpire pointed and said he was hit. Sometimes the players, the slightest little bit of the ball touching the clothing, and they're off to the races. Well, Canha really didn't budge there. So here comes the first offering to Luis Guillorme, and Musgrove delivers a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Guillorme on the season, he's batting .291 with 2 homers and 11 RBIs. As I say, if that was me, that's the pitch you want to get hit with. You don't want to get the 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the spine or in the ribs, for that matter. You want to get the breaking ball that barely touches the jersey. So here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a call strike, and Guillorme sure didn't like that one. It was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball with some backdoor run. We haven't really seen the movement on the pitches tonight from Musgrove that we've seen in a couple of his other starts. But he does have some electric stuff when he's on his day. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Holding at the belt is Musgrove, and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now going to remain at 0-2 strikes. I'm just watching the way that Musgrove holds the ball. When he gets the side from his catcher, he's got a circle change grip. When he takes it into his glove, he makes the adjustment or either leaves it the same. But the way that his glove is being held toward where the second base runner is, you can probably be able to pick up and see how he changes the grips. And Pete Alonso establishes his lead, and here comes the offering. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count's 1-2. I'd be concerned about that, especially if the runner at second base is tipping their pitches. Sometimes they might have something as simple as clenched fists out of the runners to indicate it's going to be something fast, and open hands if it's something slow. I don't see anything right now out of the runner Alonso at second. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. Trying to pick up those little things sometimes are huge. The Hobby Hound is in here. We appreciate you for being in. He said he says, remember, Bob Hamlin was going to be the next Babe Ruth because of his size. He says, drop a line to say hello. I sent an email over. Awesome. We appreciate that. I'll take a look at it maybe between innings or after the ball game. There's a fastball that this is outside, and the count now goes to 3-2. Bob Hamlin was a big guy, and as we said, Vogelbach also a big guy. So 3-2 is the count here with runners at first and second. The runners are going to be on the move as there's 2 gone here. So Musgrove leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Nola. And now he's waiting on the offering here from the right-hander who holds at the belt. Musgrove checks the runners, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on its grounder right back up the middle. It's fielded by Kim just over second base. He throws to first. That is going to retire Guillorme. That's going to go down as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 3. And that is going to do it. So in the inning, there was no runs. There were no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings in New York. It's the Padres nothing and the Mets nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes after this. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt. Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt Hollis after the game. Be sure to go check him out. We'll be right back after this from our friend Steve Rademacher, and we'll be doing the call of the top of the third when we return.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support him. And it is going to be the top of the batting order coming up for the Padres in the third inning. It is going to be Jurickson Profar, Jake Cronenworth, and Manny Machado. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the batting order. And here comes the first offering from Carlos Carrasco. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Jurickson Profar. Profar grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. And he is ready to get the next offering from Carrasco, and it's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. Based on what I've witnessed tonight from Carlos Carrasco, I would be very surprised if he is going to be lasting much more than the 5th inning. Just the way he's going, it doesn't look like he's got the command and the feel of his pitches. He was fortunate to get that help in the caught stealing in the last inning, as the catcher Nito was able to throw out the base runner. There's a breaking ball that is swung out and missed, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I see the Hobby Hound is. Then I just quickly check the email to the Hound there. And if you're going to be around after the game, I might give you a buzz. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jurickson Profar. And here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jurickson Profar. Profar, Cronenworth, and Machado, the top of the order here for the Padres. As we said, it's a beautiful night. And it's been pretty much a scorcher across the Midwest and the East in the United States, all over. Pacific Northwest has been spared up until now. It is going to be a hot one this week in the Seattle area, and the Mariners get to join the club with all the heat. As there's a fastball that misses upstairs, the count is 2-2. We are going to be calling some games this week, major league games. We're not, unfortunately, going to be doing the Japanese game. The Japanese All-Star games are this week, I believe Wednesday and Thursday. And I say All-Star games because they have 2 of them on back-to-back nights. And here comes the pitch. It is a changeup that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. We got our friend Joe in the house, like father, like son. He says, Adam Duvall is undergoing season-ending wrist surgery. Do you see Alex Anthopoulos making moves like he did last year? I do. I think that Alex Anthopoulos has got the resources to be able to compete. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is grounded softly to second. It is fielded by Cronenworth. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3. As Profar is gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth. Just a couple of other things that you guys might have an interest in. I was in Seattle on the weekend, up today. Basically what I've done is I've done the pitch in real time and then the pitch in slow motion. There'll be coaches that'll be out there looking for mechanical stuff. I didn't do a breakdown on it. There's a breaking ball that catches the lower part of the strike zone for strike, and it is 0-1 here to Cronenworth. I mean, I could do the breakdowns with it too, but I figure let the folks decide and see what they want. We got all kinds of people who think they're experts. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, and it's just hooking foul. It's in the upper deck. Cronenworth sent that up for a ride, but just hooked that one foul. It's going to run the count to 0-2 to him. It was absolutely annihilated. So no balls and 2 strikes to Cronenworth. Just a long strike for Carrasco, so he's probably not going to throw that pitch again. I was saying a little bit about the Braves as the question came in from our friend Joe, if we thought that there was going to be another move by their general manager, Alex Anthopoulos, as there's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Yeah, I do think that the Braves will want to compete again. I still don't know what's going on with the situation with Mike Soroka. I heard he had a slight setback in his timing for a return. I would think Soroka is going to be a key piece of that puzzle. They also talked about limiting Spencer Strider's innings. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So I wonder if they're going to put Strider back into the bullpen so they can watch his innings. Of course, the Mets battling with the Braves for the top spot in the National League East. Philadelphia Phillies have had some struggles over the last little bit, as they have fallen now 9 back off of the pace, and there's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 2-2. There's only one game that separates the Mets and the Braves right now in the standings. If the Mets are to win today, they'd go up by a game and a half. Mets are 5-5 over their last 10. The Braves are 6-4. Some of the hottest teams in baseball at the moment, as there's a changeup swung on it, is tapped slowly over on the third base line. It is fielded by Carrasco. He throws to first, but it's not going to be in time. Cronenworth got down the line pretty good. That's going to go as an infield single. Looked like a swinging bunt. He is going to reach first safely, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Manny Machado. Talking about some of the hottest teams in baseball, the Dodgers have won 8 straight. They're 9-1 right now in their last 10. Other team that's played really well has been the Chicago Cubs. They've won 4 straight. The American League side, the Blue Jays are flapping their wings. They're in second place to the New York Yankees as they've won 6 in a row. Houston Astros found the right tonic as they've rolled into Seattle, taking 3, and swept a doubleheader from the Yankees at home on Thursday after the break. And there's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away by Machado. Count is 0-1. Machado is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled on his first time up, and then he was stranded at third with the bases loaded back in the first inning. So Machado digs himself in. They play 3 fielders to the left side of the infield. He's got a gaping hole to the right side, and there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now is 1-1 to Machado. Our friend Ruben Hogan is in the house. Our hound says he's going to make dinner. We appreciate you for being there. Ruben says he visited LA this weekend and went to the Dodgers game yesterday. It's been the Dodgers and the Giants. That was a good series. Always a good series when you've got those two teams. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2 to Machado. As I said, I was in Seattle yesterday. I saw the second game of that series. The Mariners had a 14-game win streak, and that came to an abrupt halt. The Astros came in and stuck it to them 3 times. So the Mariners are going to be playing the Texas Rangers next. After this game here tonight, we will announce our schedule for the week. We'll be doing a lot of Major League games over the next few days, as we're going to be making the call on the MLB stuff. Here's the pitch from Carrasco. It's a ground ball back to the mound. It hits off the leg of Carrasco, and he's got to play to nowhere. So that ball there, Carrasco doesn't land in a good fielding position. If he lands in a decent fielding position, he's going to be able to make the play and, in fact, probably even have a shot at a double play. But because he falls off to the glove side, he got hit in the side of the leg. The ball trickled to the third base side, where he was too slow getting off the mound to pick it up. And then there was a play to nowhere as the runner Cronenworth was safe at second. And Machado was safe at first. That's going to be a base hit, the second hit of the game for Machado. The catcher Nito is out having a word with his pitcher to check to see if he's all right. So too is Francisco Lindor, and the home plate umpire DJ Rayburn is out there ready to break it up. So that brings Nomar Mazara to the plate, who's 1 for 1 tonight. Mazara's got a single in his only trip. Ruben said he was in LA this weekend. I really enjoy Los Angeles, and I say that cautiously because I really didn't spend a whole lot of time in LA. When I was there, I went and saw the Dodgers play the Marlins a few years ago when Giancarlo Stanton was still in a Marlin uniform. That was when they had Yelich and Stanton and Ozuna. There's the first pitch. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mazara. One thing I asked was, where can I sit where I'm going to get shade? And I sat on the third baseline on a day game, which is, I guess, what they referred to as the loge or the logue level, which is just above the lower deck. As there is a changeup that misses down, and the count is 1-1. But it's a great atmosphere. Ruben says LA is one of his favorite places to visit outside of Hawaii. I got down Sunset Boulevard, got to see the Hollywood sign. As I said, didn't spend a whole lot of time there. But I can't say that going to Hawaii, I can't see LA being my second favorite choice. Hawaii is pretty much top 1, 2, or 3. And there's a offering that is swung on and fouled away. Count goes to 1-2 now on Mazara. And Ruben says he also sat on the loge as well by third base. Yeah, that's going to keep you out of the sun. One thing I was a little disappointed with, I really wanted to have a Dodger dog, and I did have a Dodger dog. But I was hoping they would be better than what they were. And for those folks that are around, I do like my hot dogs, and there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. The count is now 1-2. If I had my choice, I used to be Old Tiger Stadium back in the day. Used to really produce some pretty good hot dogs. They used to fry them right up there in front of you. And then when they moved to Comerica Park, the company that used to do it wasn't very good anymore. Really don't like the Seattle Mariner hot dogs. I say that's the ones at the regular concession, and there's a fastball swung on it, is hit softly over to second to McNeil. He flips it to Lindor at short, over to first, and that's a double play, and that's going to end the inning. It is a 4-6-3 variety, and that will do it here for the Padres in their half of the third inning. So the Padres had no runs on 2 hits, no errors. They strand 1. We're now through 2.5. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We're talking hot dogs. We're not talking hot dogs on the field. We're talking hot dogs in your belly. We'll be right back, everybody, for the bottom of the third. Glad you guys could join us. Speaking of hot dogs, here's Steve Rademacher.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of the channel. We'll be back here in about 30 seconds with the call after this. Here's a little merengue music to get you guys going. Welcome back, everybody. We're back underway as it's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order for the Mets. And at the first pitch delivered to Thomas Nido, was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Nido, Nemo, and Marte here to face the right-hander Musgrove. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to Kim at short. He fields it neatly, throws to first. That's going to retire Nido on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Brandon Nimmo. We were talking hot dogs last inning a little bit, and we were talking about how I said I was a little disappointed in the Dodger dog. I will say this, probably the best hot dog right now that I've had at a ballpark or in a sporting event. I'm going to go back to Detroit. The Red Wings and the Pistons built a new arena called Little Caesars Arena. And they've gone back to frying the hot dogs. So very, very similar, as there's a breaking ball swung on and missed by Nemo, and the count is quickly 0-1. I guess they have to produce good food because the Pistons have been pretty bad for the last few years, and the Red Wings have stunk too. So their food game is pretty good at the Little Caesars Arena, but the product on the ice and on the basketball court, a little to be desired. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is tapped back to the pitcher, Musgrove. He throws off a 1 foot, and they're going to retire Nemo at first. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3. So that is going to be 2 away here, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Starling Marte. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of the third inning, and Marte will step to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field for the second out of the first inning. Lots of firepower in this Mets lineup. They don't seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. They did get out to that really good start this season. They have allowed the Braves to come within a game of them now in the National League East. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. As I said, the Seattle Mariners, I'm not a big fan of their hot dogs at the regular concession stand. They have a spot, and there's a fastball swung on and missed by Marte. If you go back into some of the other sections, they have some bratwursts, and they have some of that they're actually pretty good. But I'm just thinking of just the plain old hot dog. And as I said, the ones they used to serve at Old Tiger Stadium were, there's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Marte. They used to be high grades ballpark franks. And of course, it used to be they plump when you cook them. It used to be the mantra that high grades used to have. But then they went away from that. I don't really know if high grades, I don't see them in the Pacific Northwest these days. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. Nathan's hot dogs are around, and sometimes those are decent. I like them. I don't love them, but Nathan's hot dogs can do the trick for you. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marte, and there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know. Did he get a piece of that or not? There's some confusion over here because Marte's still at the plate, and they've got 2-2 on him. I guess he did get a piece. So here we go. Here comes the 2-2 offering as Musgrove gets the sign from his catcher. Now he goes into the motion and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called third strike. Which looked like it was a little up in the zone, but Marte is retired for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Mets in their half of the third inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3 complete. It is the Padres nothing, the Mets nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 4th in just a few moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again.
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones. The creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, 1 of 1, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. He did a no-filter Friday last week, and it is not for the week. So it is not a G-rated program either, but he's got something for everybody, whether it's Money Monday or the Takeover Tuesday. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the 4th. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Luke Voigt, Eric Hosmer, and Austin Nola, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order to face the right-hander Carlos Carrasco. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside. count is quickly, actually, we missed the first pitch. The count is now quickly 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Luke Voigt. 63 pitches through the first 3 innings for Carrasco as he misses with a fastball up and away. The count now goes to 3-0. Luke Voigt walked his first time up, but he was stranded at first to end that first inning. He's hitting .224 on the season. He's got a very open stance, and he swings through a fastball, and the count now goes to 3-1. So he did get green light on the fastball. The fastball was actually inside. It would have been ball 4. Ruben was talking, and we said the last couple innings ago, about his Dodger dog. And here comes the 3-1 offering as Carrasco kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This is grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 3-2. The one thing that I do like in Seattle, well, there's a couple things. One of the things that a lot of people like are the garlic fries. I think they smell great, but usually by the time you get about halfway done the garlic fries, it's like they get soggy and they lose their appeal. But they do smell good when you're in the stands. One of the other things, a buddy of mine, when he came out here a few years ago, is there's a fastball that misses inside, and Luke Voigt's going to get himself a leadoff walk. To keep your beer cold, they put ice shavings in the beer to help try to maintain to keep it cool. If you like your beer. So Voigt is the runner at first. Eric Hosmer steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to second his first time up. So he digs in, ready to face the first offering from Carlos Carrasco, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. But there is a option in Seattle for pulled pork nachos. And I wasn't sure that I would like it, but there's a fastball that misses outside. But I have to say that was one of the better products that they have. You can get with cheese and jalapenos, and you can get beans and salsa on it. I don't know if I like the price, but I do like the nachos. My friend Ruben says his fries were very salty. God, he had some Roscoe's chicken and waffles prior to the game. You know, I've heard a little bit about Roscoe's, and there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to short. They throw to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be a double play. That is a 6-4-3 variety. That is going to erase Voigt for the first out at second, and Hosmer is gone on the back end. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Austin Nola. That's the second double play turn today by the New York Mets. 1 to end the 3rd inning and 1 here to start the 4th. Chicken and waffles. I've never heard of that before. And then a few years ago, people are like, no, man, it's really good. There's a place up here in the east side of Vancouver, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's called the Red Wagon. It's this little hole-in-the-wall breakfast place, and one of the deals is their big thing is pulled pork pancakes. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, and it's just going to hook foul. That is going to run the count now to 0-2. Our friend Mick says he's headed to Frisco in September. Ruben says there's something about the syrup touching his chicken. I hadn't had the pulled pork. I certainly didn't take the pulled pork pancakes, although they say it's really good. That's kind of what they're known for. Our friend Mick says he's going to Frisco in September. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. I haven't been down that far. I've been to San Diego and to LA, but I've actually never been to San Francisco. Our friend Mick says chicken and waffles is super. Yeah, that's what I hear. So I'm not one to shy away from food. I can tell you that much. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. The only problem is I got to make sure that I keep up with that some sort of workout regime. Otherwise, we'll balloon up to 300 pounds. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2 to Nola. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ruben says Frisco is cold at night. Yeah, it's in some ways it's like Seattle. When I've gone to see games in Seattle, and even in the months of May and in June, if you go see a night game, you got to make sure you got yourself a hoodie with you. There's a changeup that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Nola. You're pretty good up until about 9 o'clock at night, and then because you're sitting there by the ocean, next thing you know is about 9 o'clock, it starts to get really, really cool. Here comes the pitch. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Mark Canha. Nola is going to be aboard with a single. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Ha-Seong Kim. Even yesterday's game, it was about 60 some odd degrees in the morning, and then it did get up to the mid-upper 70s. But I like to sit in the shade. I don't always like to sit in the sun and bake. Took the hoodie and was able to enjoy it. As I said, if you get a chance on the channel, we uploaded some Justin Verlander and Ryan Borucki pitches. If you're interested in looking at their mechanics, we've slowed it down a little bit. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Ha-Seong Kim for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Kim today singled his first time up. He was erased in a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. He's raised his season average up to 242. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up into shallow left field. Coming in on it is Canha. He's underneath it. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Kim for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Padres in their half of the 4th. There was no runs. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the New York Mets nothing, the San Diego Padres nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few as we continue to call this 0-0 game. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again. He's on a quest to get to 500. Make sure you check out his channel after the game.
Hello, guys. Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number, either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deer Dick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Make sure after the game, go check him out. We'll be back in just a moment, everybody. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. We are going to be posting our schedule up after the ball game for the week ahead. So hopefully you can tune in with us. We'll be on pretty much every day but Wednesday, and maybe some days even twice. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for the Mets. That means Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, and Jeff McNeil, the flying squirrel, to face the right-hander Joe Musgrove. Musgrove begins the inning with the first pitch fastball down and away to Lindor for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Lindor tonight, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, and he swings at a breaking ball, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Lindor 0 for 1 tonight. The switch hitter is batting a left-handed against the right-handed throwing Joe Musgrove. As Lindor digs himself in, waiting on the offering here. It is Musgrove, who holds set, now he is ready to kick and deliver, and there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's on the first base side, and it gets by the ball boy, and it heads off into right field. That's going to bring the count to 1-2. Musgrove has hit a batter and he has walked a batter tonight. Those are the only base runners that he has allowed so far through the first 3 innings. I don't know if this is the best stuff, as we said, that Musgrove has had. I've seen him pitch a couple other times this year, and he's been very, very effective. Some of it is because of the movement and late life on his pitch. We saw him go head-to-head against Logan Webb a couple of weeks ago, and it looked like a wiffle ball game being played at 90 miles an hour. It was great stuff. And here's the 1-2. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Lindor has gone down on strikes for the second time in the ball game tonight. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the polar bear, Pete Alonso. For Alonso, he has walked his first time up. Doesn't have an official at bat. He's hitting .271 with those 24 homers and 78 RBIs. I have to say, there's not enough good nicknames in the game, but the Mets certainly have 2 of them. With the polar bear in Pete Alonso and the flying squirrel in Jeff McNeil. At least those are the ones publicly that we hear. I'm sure that some of the teammates might have some different nicknames for some of their teammates, depending on who they are. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses up and in to Alonso, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. When Alonso won the first home run derby of his career, he didn't obviously win it this year, but he wasn't getting paid very much. I think it was the league minimum he was getting, and he doubled his salary with that victory. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Backing up to the edge of the warning track is Ruiz. He makes the catch, and Alonso is gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Jeff McNeil. For McNeil, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to the center fielder his first time up. So McNeil, 0 for 1. His average has dipped to .296. He's got 4 homers and 35 runs batted in. Joe Musgrove, as we said, or as I said earlier, just doesn't seem to have that same electric stuff that night that he faced Logan Webb, but he's been very effective. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Sometimes you see different pitchers and you catch them one time or you catch them the next. They may not have always their best stuff every single night. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Racing in on it is the left fielder, Profar. He makes the catch on the run toward the foul line, and that is going to do it. And he tosses the ball into the New York stands to give a souvenir. That will do it here quickly and quietly for the Mets in their half of the 4th inning. So for New York in their half of the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete. We're all locked up at nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back at the top of the 5th when we return after this. Here is our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero O'Clock Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Once again, everybody, be sure to check out Dave at Zero Fox Sports. He supports our channel, and in turn, we support him. And now here's your winner for last month. Be sure to head over to his channel. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and he'll put you up for a mystery pack of cards. The month of July is running out. There's only, 8 days left if you include today? And so he will have an opportunity for you. Here's the winner for last month. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Raps Baseball. It's time to announce the winners of this month's mystery pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, pick a haircut. Back to the game.
Appreciate you there, Dave. And again, your support of our channel. Go check out the Game Changer Lounge at Zero Fox Sports. He's got all kinds of entertainment and things for you there. Coming up in the fifth inning, it's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. It's going to be Esteury Ruiz, Jerkson Profar, and Jake Cronenworth. 9-1-2 in the batting order, as they will be facing the right-hander Carlos Carrasco. It has not been an easy ball game for Carrasco in this one here. He's had to use up a lot of bullets to this point. And as I said, I'd be surprised if he really goes much past the fifth inning, as the Mets are probably going to have to dip into the bullpen. The right-hander has had to throw a lot of pitches. He has walked a couple of guys here tonight. He's allowed 6 hits. Nothing has really been hit hard. There's the first offering there to Ruiz. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. And he's 81 pitches through the 4 innings so far for the right-hander. And here comes the offering to Ruiz. As he kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. Ruiz tonight bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up, and then he was gunned down stealing as he overslid the bag at second base. He was there in time, but it looked like that Frankie Lindor had rolled him off the bag at second. Here's the 2-1. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Thinking of different stadiums, we were talking earlier about the food and the hot dogs. Years ago at Old Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left field. Mark Canha is camping out underneath it. He makes the catch. And that's going to retire Ruiz for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Jerkson Profar. Toronto, when they first came into Major League Baseball back in the late 70s and into the early 80s, they used to have what they would call their footlong dogs. And they were good. The footlong were a lot different than what you would think of with the Tigers. And I used to talk about the ballpark Franks. They had a little different taste. They were these long, thin wiener type, and they were really, really good as well. But sometimes it's hard to find good ballpark food. And there's a breaking ball that's dropped in for a called strike. The count is 1-1. When I go to a ballpark, I want good ballpark food. I don't necessarily want caviar and champagne when I go to a baseball game. That's not ballpark food. I need a hot dog to be hot. I need the nachos to be good. You know, I'm not looking for a diet type of food when I go to a ball game. There's the breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. There's nothing worse than you go up and you get a cold, soggy hot dog. Or they've already cooked it. They put it underneath to keep it steamed. The bun is wet. It's terrible. Give me good ballpark food, and I can handle that. There's a 2-strike pitch that is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is remained at 0-2 to Profar. Only 1 strikeout so far in the ballgame for Carrasco. Other than that, he has not been able to put away or overpower the San Diego hitters. Hitters have put the ball in play tonight. The defense has had to go to work. So here comes the 0-2 pitch now to Carrasco, and there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-2. Steve Rademacher in the house. Welcome, Steve. We appreciate you for being here and for stopping by with your support of the channel. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly over to Lindor, who's playing to the right side of second base. He fields it. He throws it on the run, and that is going to retire Profar. Ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth. Next, asking the question, I wonder how much a cheap ticket for those would be in San Francisco. That's a good question. I really don't know what to tell you because I've never been there. You know, the reality of it is that when you go to the stadiums, you start to get to know where you can sit and where you can't, and where you can move to and where you can't. And I don't have that feel for, you know, the areas that I haven't been to. I know when I'm certainly in Detroit or in Toronto or in Seattle, you know, where you can move around to. There's a breaking ball delivered to Cronenworth, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ruben says, I wish the Dodger dog had a chili option. You know, that would be kind of cool. That would be like a Coney dog in the Detroit area where you get your cheese and your Coney Island and everything else. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's popped up over to the right side, backing up underneath it and backpedaling to make the catch is Jeff McNeil, and that is going to do it as the Padres go quietly here in the 5th inning. They're retired in order, 1, 2, 3. It is the second time tonight the Padres have gone down in order, but it was unconventional the first time. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're all locked up at zeros. Who's going to be the first one to score? And that might be the only one. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few after this. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is going to be Dan Vogelbach, Mark Canha, and Luis Guillorme to come to bat for the Mets in their half of the 5th inning. We are all locked up at zeros. As we said, this is Vogelbach's Mets debut as he joined the club from the Pirates recently. Pirates have had a lot of movement with their club, and a lot of teams are moving some guys around, and it is that time of the year that we're keeping an eye on the trade watch. Certainly the trades that are being made are going to be either teams that are buyers or sellers. Pirates are sellers, but certain teams like the Orioles these days could be a buyer and a seller. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Vogelbach. Vogelbach, the big fella, batting from the left side against the right-handed slants of Joe Musgrove. As Musgrove holds at the belt, and now he rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. One would have to think that the Mets are probably going to be buyers at the deadline. I think if DeGrom comes back, and there's all indications that he's going to be because he's getting another rehab start. There's a breaking or a changeup that misses down, and the count is 2-1. DeGrom and Scherzer, I would say they could probably use one more starting pitcher with October stuff. I'm not sure that those two could just carry them, and I think could probably use another bat. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. And if I had to say the bat that they could use, probably an outfield bat. I mean, if you've got Marte in right and you've got Nemo in center, maybe you push Canha into the 4th role. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. There was talk about, I think it was Dominic Smith. There was other talk about other guys that could be possibly dealt. I wonder what their catching situation, the story with James McCann is. I don't follow the Mets tightly enough to be able to give that type of offer and that type of insight. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Vogelbach. Only 2 fastballs that Vogelbach has seen in this at-bat. This is going to be pitch number 7th coming from a right-hander Musgrove. Vogelbach waggles the bat. Musgrove takes a deep breath, and now he gets his sign from his catcher, Nola. He works from the set position, even though there's nobody on. There's a fastball swung on, and that's line foul. The Count remains at 3-2. As we say, there's some solid people, and then you look at this Daniel Vogelbach. He has got some big arms. He is a big man. And get him the right pitch, he can put a charge into it. Here comes the 3-2 offering. I would expect something soft here because that last fastball was absolutely turned on. Here comes the pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. It's going to get down. Nomar Mazara fields it, and he fires it back in. And that is going to be the first hit of the ball game here for the Mets, as Vogelbach has broken up that no-hitter here. So the Mets got their first hit here with Vogelbach leading off the 5th inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Mark Canha. It was a breaking ball. He didn't hit it in the sweet spot. He got it more down toward the handle of the bat. But he did line it softly into right field, and that is the first hit here for the Mets. Our friend Mick is a Braves fan who is all of a sudden now cheering for the Mets. I don't think that's the case. Or is that the case? So here comes the first offering now to the right-handed hitting Canha. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Canha got hit by a pitch his first at bat. As I mentioned, it would have been a mystery because it barely looked like it grazed him. If you're going to get hit by the pitch, that's the breaking ball that you wanted to get hit by. Probably didn't even leave a mark on the jersey, let alone the body. So here comes the 1-strike offering from Musgrove. It's a breaking ball swung on, and this is lined into the left field corner. It's going to be extra bases. Fielding the ball is Profar. Digging hard around second is Vogelbach, and he's going to stop at third. That's going to be a double for Canha. So back-to-back hits here by the Mets in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they've got something brewing here, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Luis Guillorme. One would think that they're going to have to play the infield in here, this game has all the likelihood or possibility of only just being a 1-run game. It's a good swing by Canha. He turned on that pitch, drove it into the left field corner. And Dan Vogelbach flashing some speed as he rounded second and headed into third. He ran pretty good for a big man. It wasn't so bad. So Vogelbach has got himself a spot at third base, and Mark Canha is at second, and here comes Luis Guillorme. Mick says he's a Yankee and a Met fan. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Guillorme. Guillorme grounded to the shortstop his first time up. It was a ground ball right back up through the middle. And Ha-Seong Kim was standing pretty much over top of second base. Defensively, they've got the defense halfway. They're not right up on the grass. Everybody is in halfway. As DJ Rayburn has gone out to the mound to say, or halfway to say something to Joe Musgrove. Not sure what that exchange was. So the defense is halfway. The only one that's close to being up on the grass is the third baseman, Machado. And here comes the offering from Musgrove. It's a fastball that misses inside. The appeal down to the third base umpire, and Jim Wolf goes up with the right hand. That's going to run the count now to 0-2 on Guillorme. As we get to look at that, yeah, I got to say Jim Wolf made the right call. Guillorme definitely couldn't hold up in time. He definitely offered, that's for sure. Here comes the 0-2 pitch now. So it'll be a big out here for Musgrove if he can retire Guillorme. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on his chop softly over to first. Applying the tag is the first baseman, Hosmer. And that is going to retire Guillorme on a ground out to third. The runners are going to have to hold, and that's now going to bring up the catcher, Thomas Nito. Our friend Mick says his New York Yankees hat has some ear flaps. Sounds like my Mariner hat that I got a few years ago where they gave you a beard, a Fear of the Beard hat, and it had like a fake beard that was attached to the front. And it had these tassels, and it looked like pom-poms down the side. For a while, it kind of looked like it was a Minnesota Vikings hat. So here comes the first pitch from Musgrove. It's grounded hard over to the third baseman, Machado. He fields it. He throws to first. Nice play by Machado, and it's going to be a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order in Brandon Nimmo. So the two leadoff hitters with the single and the double, they haven't been able to cash either of them in, as they've got two ground balls here in the infield. Nice play there by Machado. He checked the runner. It was an easy throw over to first base to retire the batter runner, Nito, and that now is going to soften the defense back as they're going to play deep here in their normal depth. Brings Brandon Nimmo to the plate. Nimmo tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to short, and he's grounded back to the pitcher. On the first pitch is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Musgrove looking to wiggle himself out of damage as he's allowed the first two hitters to have base hits. All Buck Showalter can do is watch as this might be opportunity lost here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Now, two guys on with nobody out. Come away with nothing. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. Friend Mick says it looks like those old school Buffalo check hats like on Christmas vacation. I know the one you're talking about, and as I said, it kind of reminds me of almost like the hat that we got in Seattle a few years ago with that fake beard. Not quite like that one. It does have the flaps, but it's more of a toque. Only thing missing would be Chevy Chase sporting it for you. So here comes the two-strike pitch. Nimmo waggles the bat. He chokes up a little bit. And there's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded softly to second. It's fielded by Cronenworth. He throws to first, and Nimmo is retired on a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. So they're able to wiggle themselves out of the jam. Is Musgrove. There was no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 5 complete innings. It is the New York Mets nothing, the San Diego Padres nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the 6th inning. We're glad you guys can make it in here with us tonight. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Appreciate you there, Matt, your support of the channel, and in turn, we support Matt Hollis. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 6th in just a couple. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Padres, and we are going to have a pitching change here for the Mets. As the first pitch delivered to Manny Machado is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. We got Drew Smith into the ball game. This is going to be his 37th appearance of the year. He's worked 40 innings. He's got an ERA of 3.38. So Smith on in relief of the starter Carlos Carrasco. Here's the offering to Machado. It's a fastball again, swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. In the history of the game, this is the second time in the history that Manny Machado has started the All-Star game at third base for both leagues. The first player to do it was also a former Padre, and that would be Craig Nettles. There's a fastball that is they swung on it, and they checked the swing, and it was fouled off, and Machado started his way to first base, but Angel Hernandez has called him back as he says that he had attempted the swing. So we've got some entertainment in New York, and we might have a visit here from the manager, Bob Melvin. It was an 0-2 pitch. And we're going to see if they're going to, what's going to happen here. Melvin has come out to talk to the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn. It was a changeup that ran inside. Manny Machado had swung or came to swing. He missed the pitch. It hit him on the elbow, but he was offering to swing. DJ Rayburn pointed to the elbow, saying that he had been hit by the pitch. But it looks like the first base umpire has overruled it, saying that Machado did offer at the swing, and that's going to be strike 3. So as we talked about Mark Canha getting hit with a pitch earlier, that is going to retire Machado for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Nomar Mazara. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Mazara. It's ball 1. We said when Mark Canha got hit by the pitch, that was the one you wanted to get hit by. You could barely tell that he got grazed. Here, Machado gets hit by the pitch, and he's called out on strikes, and now he's redecorating the New York Met visiting dugout. As there's the breaking ball swung on and missed for a 1-1 count. Yeah, he got hit. But the first base umpire, Hernandez, came up with the right hand and said that he had swung. So Machado was definitely not happy. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-2 on Mazara. So insult to injury. You get called out on strikes, and you got hit by the pitch. That's going to leave a mark because I believe that was on the right forearm. So here comes the 2-2 offering. Or check that 1-2 offering. Now it's 2-2 as the fastball misses inside. The count is now 2-2 to Mazara. Good old Angel Hernandez. I was hoping to do a game of his on the plate some time back, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do it. Our friend Mick says he's pretty ticked off as he's throwing the fit. There's a breaking ball swung out and fouled away, and the count now remains at 2-2. Yeah, I do too. I get it as well, but after going back and looking on the replay, I know Angel Hernandez is always good for some drama. But I have to say he probably made the right call as he did attempt to swing at the pitch. So again, leading in is the pitcher Smith. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 3-2 on Nomar Mazara. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Smith has come in throwing at a little bit different level than Carlos Carrasco. He's been up around 96, 97 miles an hour. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It is a changeup swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. That's going to be the second hit of the ball game for Mazara. He's got himself a single, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Luke Voigt. I was saying I wanted to do a game that Angel Hernandez was doing behind the plate. A couple of weeks ago, I looked at the possibility of doing the Tigers and the Guardians. In some ways, thank God I didn't do it because it was a 10-0 ball game. But I think that watching Angel do the plate would have been high-end entertainment. Although I did see there's a umpire scorecard on Twitter that comes out. And they said he did a game right before the All-Star break, and they said it was a really good game, one of the better ones of the season. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-0 to Luke Voigt. We got Matt Hollis in the house here cheering on his Padres. Welcome, Matt. Luke Voigt tonight has walked both of his times to the plate. He hasn't really got too many good pitches to hit. Here's the offering from Smith. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is drilled to deep center field. Moving back to the edge of the warning, at the front of the warning track is Nemo. He makes the catch. That's going to retire Voigt for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it up to the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. Matt Hollis was out doing some sport card hunting. He took his daughter with him. One of his latest videos to Target. And all kinds of stuff in there as Matt was looking at making some purchases. The one thing that popped for me, I never saw the Bowman mega boxes here at all. Never, ever. I've seen the chrome ones in years past, but not the mega boxes for the regular Bowman stuff. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Hosmer. So no balls and one strike. Hosmer tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second each of his first two times to the plate. They play him pretty much straight away. They've got the runner, Mazzara, being held at first base. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. They appeal down to the third base umpire, Jim Wolf, and up goes the right hand to Hosmer, and that runs the count now to 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. Offense in this game has been relatively anemic for both sides. 7 hits for the Padres, 2 for the Mets. Mr. Met has joined the action in the front row just behind the Mets dugout, as has Mrs. Met. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now runs to 1-2. That says the Bowman Mega is super fun, but a bit pricey at $50. Yeah, I think that's probably where your value lies. As I said, I've never seen those here. So no balls and two strikes it is, or sorry, 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to the left-handed hitting Hosmer, and there's a breaking ball that has swung at and fouled away. It's just behind home plate, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The runner at first is Mazzara. There's 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. It was Eric Hosmer at the dish with a 1-2 count. Drew Smith is on in relief. As the left-handed hitting Hosmer waggles the bat, Smith comes set. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes. After the first pitch fastball, it's been a steady diet of breaking balls to Hosmer after that. Hosmer entered the fray tonight hitting .275. His average has dipped a little bit. He's now at .273. And the Mets mascots are in full effect as they're in behind the dugout of the Mets. And here's the pitch to Smith. From Smith. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded down the left field line. It's into the corner. It's trouble. Rounding second and heading to third is Mazzara. They're waving him home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is offline, and sliding in head first is Nomar Mazzara with the first run of the ball game, as Eric Hosmer's got himself an RBI double. That is going to open the scoring here for the Padres in the top of the 6th inning. That ball was scorched down the left field line into the corner. And Mazzara, who still runs fairly well, is able to come all the way around from first base. Eric Hosmer is one of those hitters who does use the entire field. That ball was grounded past the third base bag into the corner. They had played the third baseman, did the Mets, Luis Guillorme, off of the line. They certainly weren't in the no doubles defense in the infield. There's a first pitch fastball that misses up and in to Austin Nola for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So just like that, people are leaving the chat room here left and right. as the Mets are now down 1-0. Probably those Mets fans are ticked off. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. The way the Mets have been playing, they're just letting everything slip away here after that good start has been kind of wasted. Good start to the season, that is. And here comes the offering. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Austin Nola. Ironically, when Matt Hollis shows up, that's when the Padres start scoring some runs. So maybe Matt's going to stick around for a little bit to try to bring some luck to his Padres. You never know. It says Haas can be clutch, and our friend Mick is. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike by Nola. Count is 2-2. Steve Rademacher says, can you spell Mets with an F-U? Interesting that Steve Rademacher would chime in there. Milwaukee Brewer fan throwing stones from glass houses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and that keeps the count at 2-2 to Nola. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the runner at second is Hosmer. There's 2 gone with 2 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Nola. And here's the pitch from Smith. It is a changeup swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field, racing back onto the warning track, and leaping up and making the catch is Nemo as he slams into the wall. And that is going to do it for the 3rd out of the inning. A great running catch by the center fielder. He gets a round of applause. But there was damage done here by the Padres in their half of the 6th inning. They had 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 runner left the board. We are now to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 1-0 ball game for the San Diego Padres. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Hang tight. We appreciate you all for being here. Here's our friend Steve again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. If you don't do our Japanese broadcasts, we're going to give you some of their cheerleaders on the in-between right here. This is our late night stuff that we do, as we call those NPB games. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Mets in their half of the 6th inning. That'll be Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, and Pete Alonso. It is a week that we're going to be sorting out some of that stuff. Another Hollis build says this is the best commercial, period. I take it for our Japanese cheerleaders. It's probably the top drawer stuff. That is the best one that we can offer for sure. Nice catch there by Nemo as he slammed into the wall. I don't think it would have had enough to clear for a home run, but he didn't have to leap to make the grab, and Nemo was able to hold that ball up to get that final out. Marte, Lindor, and Alonso to get things going here. As we said, we're going to be giving you guys some of our upcoming schedule over the next little bit, as there's the first pitch changeup swung on. It is lifted into center field, and Starling Marte is aboard with a base hit here to lead off the 6th inning. So that is the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Mets, and Marte is aboard. Got to keep your eye on him. He is a threat to steal, and you may want to try to get him into scoring position with Lindor, Alonso, and McNeil to follow here. Yeah, bats have gone silent in this series for the Mets. 23 innings, and they've only got 2 runs to show for it against the San Diego pitching. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Francisco Lindor. Trying to sort out our schedule for the calls of the games here coming up over the next little bit. As we said, after this game tonight, we will post it up. As there's a changeup that misses down, and the count is 1-1 now to Lindor. As we said, the Japanese League is in a little bit of a hiatus as they are going to be on a break. It's their All-Star break. They've got 2 games in their All-Star break. They'll be being played. So we're probably not going to be doing that. Don't think we'll be resuming the action until the Friday night on the weekend, which will be their Saturday games. They throw over to first base, does Musgrove, and diving back in time as the runner Marte. I'll have to keep an eye on Marte as he does like to run. He had 69 stolen bases since 2020. That is the most in all of baseball. But Merrifield and Trey Turner are second and third, respectively, to Marte. He's got a conservative lead over there for him. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the right field line, and that ball is going to be fair, and it's going to hit off the stanchion. And racing into second base is going to be Frankie Lindor. Moving over to third is Marte, and the Mets have something brewing here in the 6th inning. That is definitely a friendly double. There is the way it hit fair, and then the ball hooked, and it jutted off, and then it didn't go into the corner. It bounced out into shallow right field. So Lindor had come around that pitch, was able to just land fair, then it hooked off just by where the ball boy was positioned. Had to try to clear himself out of the way. And it basically hit and stuck, and then Cronenworth had to come out and pick it up. So now they got runners at second and third, and that's going to bring up Pete Alonso to the plate. The dangerous Pete Alonso, that is. So Alonso tonight is officially 0 for 1. He flew up to center his last time up. Nick Martinez, a former NPB pitcher, is up and throwing in the Padre bullpen. They have a conference on the mound as the pitching coach is out, and the umpire Rayburn is now out there with them. The crowd is getting pretty excited in New York. And that is it. The conference is now over as the coach has now returned. So runners at second and third. The Mets are threatening here in their half of the bottom of the 6th inning. Haven't been able to keep up with our chat. We got Cult Classic Hero. He says it's shirtless Marte rally time. As long as you're the guy taking the shirt off. So Alonso steps to the plate. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. That's nothing more that drives you crackers is when you go out and you score a run, and then your pitcher can't come back out and put up a 0 in the next inning. You lose that momentum. So runner at second is Lindor. The runner at third is Marte. And here's the offering to Alonso. It's a fastball swung on, and he's fouled it off his shin guard, and the count goes to 1-1. So anything here, a deep fly ball would sacrifice a run in. Base hit will probably score you 2. The Padres, who have kept the bats for the Mets in check for most of this series, leaning on Musgrove to keep it in check here. This is going to be the 80th pitch of the ball game for the Padres right-hander. So 1 ball and 1 strike. This is going to be an action pitch because you think that Alonso's going to be swinging. That's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. It's much appreciated that everybody has joined us for this game here tonight. It is Sunday Night Baseball, and the Padres are clinging to a 1-0 lead over the Mets in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Alonso waiting on the offering here from Musgrove, and Musgrove delivers a breaking ball. This ball is swung on. It's hit deep to left center field. Going back and watching it sail into the seats. It's a 3-run homer for Pete Alonso, and the Mets are now taken the lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to clear the bases. The single by Marte, the double by Lindor, and now the 3-run homer by Pete Alonso have them up 3-1 as the polar bear has awoken here in the 6th inning. And that is going to bring up the flying squirrel in Jeff McNeil. Unbelievable. He absolutely turned that one right around. So now that's going to bring up the second baseman, Jeff McNeil, who is 0 for 2 tonight. It's going to be a tough act to follow. Alonso turned that one around in a big hurry. It got out in a New York second. There's a fastball that is delivered upstairs to the second baseman, McNeil, and he checked his swing and takes that for ball 1. McNeil today is 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and flown out to left. His average is dipped to 295. Here comes the 1-0 offering from Musgrove. There's a changeup that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Polar Bear, that with those 3 RBIs, gives him 81 now on the season. And there is a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. Hosmer fields it. He flips it over to Musgrove covering, and that's going to go down as a ground out 3-1 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Dan Vogelbach. For Vogelbach, on the evening, he is 1 for 2. He is in his Mets debut here tonight. He struck out the first time up, and he singled and was stranded on third in the 5th inning. We told the story before. There was Sparky Anderson used to say when he managed the Cincinnati Reds, I'll let a pitcher get into trouble once, but I don't want to let him get into trouble twice. There's a breaking ball that goes off the glove of the catcher, Nola, and all the way to the backstop for ball 1. Our friend Cult Classic Hero says it's in reference to Marte's red carpet show outfit at the All-Star game. Therefore, shirtless Marte rally time. There you go. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count's now 2-0 to Vogelbach. Starling Marte is a very intriguing piece for the Mets. An off-season acquisition is one that is very important. He is probably as close to a 5-tool player right now in baseball as you can get. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count now goes to 2-1 on Vogelbach. I say that because when I think of Marte, his ability to steal bases like he has in the last couple of years, as well as his juice in the stick, can swing the bat, and he's pretty good defensively. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Vogelbach, and the count's now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Vogelbach. Mark Canha waits his turn on deck. This is getting pretty close to the end of the line for the starter Musgrove. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and Vogelbach's going to draw himself a 1-out walk. He's aboard for the second time tonight. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Mark Canha. It's going to bring the manager, Bob Melvin, out of the San Diego dugout. It looks like he has seen enough, as Nick Martinez is just finishing up his warm-up tosses. And that is going to be it for the right-hander Musgrove. Well, Musgrove pitched pretty well tonight, and then he got himself into a bit of a jam here in the 6th inning, but that is going to be a pitching change. We'll be back here in just a couple moments, everybody. as they are going to have this change, and we'll get you all the specs when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Nick Martinez coming into the game for the Padres. He is in the first of a 4-year deal. He signed for $25.5 million. Spent the last few seasons over in Japan. Last time he pitched in the big leagues before 2022 was in 2017 with the Texas Rangers. He spent time with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the Japan Professional NPB baseball. He's working in his 21st game for the Padres. He's had 10 starts under his belt. He's also got 3 saves. He's got 75 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 71 hits, 32 runs, 30 which have been earned. He's walked 31 and struck out 66. He's got an ERA of 3.57 in the pitcher's friendly Petco Park. So he is coming on in relief of Joe Musgrove. He'll be the second pitcher used tonight by Bob Melvin. So he is taking over here with the runner Dan Vogelbach at first and Mark Canha stepping to the plate. For Canha, he is 1 for 1. He doubled his last time up. He also was hit by a pitch back in the second inning, as he is ready to face Martinez, who is just completing his warm-up tosses. 1-0 was the score, but it's now a 3-1 ball game here for the Mets in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Pete Alonso with that home run off a breaking ball by Musgrove. That ball went for a good country mile. It went actually into the next level up above the lower deck in that left center field. There's almost like an area there that's kind of like a, I don't want to say like a lounge area, and then there's the next level up, and then there's the upper deck. So our friend Matt Hollis says Pete's a beast. He absolutely is. Joe Musgrove, I said it early on, I didn't think he had his best stuff tonight, but it was pretty impressive that he was able to keep the Mets in check, no-hit them through the first 4. Seen him with better stuff, that's for sure. So here's the first pitch from Nick Martinez to Mark Canha. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. As we said about Martinez, he's signed with the Padres after his tour in Japan. Popular player in Japan, and had really found himself to be able to pitch and get his way back into the big leagues. You see that in some cases. Chris Flexen of the Mariners went over to the KBO after being jettisoned by the Mets to come back with the Mariners to have himself a good campaign. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the left side of the infield. It is picked up by a sliding Ha-Seong Kim. He gets to his feet and throws to first. And that is going to retire Canha on a ground out 6-3. They didn't have the shot at Vogelbach at second base. He's going to advance over to second, but a nice play there by Kim. He slid, and then he turned all the way over. I don't know if maybe they would have had a shot at Vogelbach at second base. But that is going to retire Canha for the second out. As we watch the play, a nice pick there by the first baseman Hosmer. So that is going to retire Canha for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Luis Guillorme. So Guillorme is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to short, and he has grounded to first. So Martinez gets the sign from his catcher, Nola, and he comes set. He checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It's a fastball at 94 miles an hour that misses inside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Ha-Seong Kim, as we watch the replay there again, slides as he makes the play to his left. Kind of surprised that he may not have had an opportunity to get Vogelbach there at second. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Guillorme. Kim is shaded to the second base bag. He's almost right over top of it. He's still to the left side of the bag. Holding at the belt is Martinez. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner for called strike, and the count is now 1-2. That was 95 miles an hour. That last pitch. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Guillorme. And here comes the offering from Martinez. And now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the left side. And it is going to fall into no man's land. Here comes the runner, Vogelbach, to the plate. The ball is going to get cut off. Confusion there by the Padres. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it was a bit gun-shy because we saw Profar and Kim earlier this year have a collision. That ball falls into no man's land. It's going to be a single for Guillorme. He's going to get himself an RBI. It's going to cash in Vogelbach all the way from second base. I can see why there was a bit of a problem there. Racing in was Profar. That's Profar's ball. He should have made that catch. Ha-Seong Kim, who was stationed closer to second base, had run out, and he threw on the brakes. Also going out was the third baseman, Manny Machado, but it fell into the Bermuda Triangle between the three of them. Guillorme is going to get himself the easiest RBI of the season. Vogelbach's going to score all the way from second base. And that's going to bring up now the catcher, Thomas Nito, with a 4-1 scoreline on our hands. And here's the first pitch delivered to Nito. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So some confusion and communication issues by the Padres that allows that one to fall in. So a little bit of craziness that's going on there. Again, we saw Profar get carted off a couple of weeks back on a collision. So he was probably feeling or hearing those footsteps thinking, here we go again. So here comes the 1-0 offering now to Nito. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. And this ball is going to be off the wall. Mazzara picks it up. He plays it off of one hop. They're trying to send Guillorme home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's offline as Guillorme goes in head first. Standing up at second base with a double is Nito. He's got himself an RBI, and the onslaught is going to continue here for the Mets. As Nito's got himself an RBI double, Guillorme scores all the way from first base, and it's a 5-1 lead now for the Mets. Oh boy, if you're a Padre fan, you're feeling it now. The Mets fans in New York are loving it. The Big Apple. Just looking at the relay throw, that throw from Cronenworth to the plate was not even close. It was a good solid 20 feet up the line. I remember when Bud Black used to coach the Padres and used to watch the Padres play, and I say, I don't know if a Bud Black team is going to be attentive to the details. The way the Padres played, the little mistakes they used to make, well, that would have been a Bud Black type of team right there. As the relay itself, I didn't think much of in that situation. So Nito is at board at second base with that double. Martinez is holding the ball at the belt. He checks the runner, and he's ready to go back to work. And here comes the offering to Brandon Nimmo. It's the fastball upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So this is going to be the ninth hitter of the inning to come to bat for the Mets. It is a defensive miscue clinic. For the Mets, their first 14 hitters did not have a hit. Now the last 13 hitters to come to the plate, they've had 7. So suddenly the Mets have found their bats, and there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, and it's just going to hook foul into the upper deck as Brandon Nimmo sent it for a long ride, but just not straight enough. That ball hit about 3 seats to the right of the foul pole and then ricocheted back into fair territory. The crowd in the upper deck there was hoping that the umpires would have ruled that fair ball. Nobody was able to come up with that one in the foul territory. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nimmo. And here comes the offering from Martinez. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul over the third base side. Now the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brandon Nimmo. 5-1. The Mets lead it now here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as they're trying to salvage the final game of the 3-game set. Our friend Mick is fist pumping for the Mets here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering from the right-hander Martinez. He kicks and he delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field, but there's room as Profar makes the catch. He's going to retire the side here. That's going to be a fly out to left field, but they send 9 batters to the plate in the inning, and they get themselves 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 6 complete innings. It is the Mets 5, the Padres 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 7th in just a couple minutes. Lots of action in that inning. We'll be back after this from our friend, Matt.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7-year veteran Seth Lugo taking over here for the Mets in the top of the 7th inning. And coming up for the Padres, he'll be facing Ha-Seong Kim, Esther Ruiz, and Jerkson Profar. It is on the season for Lugo. He's making his 37th appearance. He's got 36 innings pitched, 34 hits allowed, 15 runs all earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 34. First pitch offered to Kim is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. He has also got a 1-2 record on the year, and he's also got himself 3 saves. And here comes the offering here from Lugo. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined to left field, ranging over to his left, leaping and making the catch is Mark Canna, and that's going to put away Ha-Seong Kim for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Esther Ruiz. Ruiz tonight is 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice, was erased when he was caught stealing, and he has flown to left field. So 0 for 2 on the evening for Ruiz. And here comes the first offering as Lugo delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's really the first time I've seen Seth Lugo pitch. He's got a very quirky kind of delivery. You can see how he could really mess with the timing of the hitters. He's a little herky-jerky once he starts to go toward the plate, and there's a bunt, and it's dropped down, and it's a good one, and Ruiz is going to reach first. As that ball was to the third base side between the pitcher and the catcher. And Ruiz is aboard with a single here, and that is going to bring up the left fielder Jurickson Profar. So for Profar, he is 0 for 3 tonight. And then, of course, he had that calamity in the last inning. Profar each time has grounded out to the second baseman, Jeff McNeil, in all 3 of his trips to the plate. So Lugo has the runner at first. He checks the sign, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Mick says the Padres line is amazing, but I've noticed this year they crumble late in games and in clutch situation. Hollis says, yeah, it's basically I've dealt with my whole life as a Padres fan. And there they throw over to first base, and getting back in time is Ruiz. Small ball, nickeling and diming it to get back in it. You got to like it. Find a way on base and then keep the conga line going if you can. Here's the 0-1 offering to Profar. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And you tip your hat to the young outfielder Ruiz to scratch and claw his way on. Whatever you can do to find a way on. Sometimes you got to lean into a pitch. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Profar. Matt Hollis says you need base runners, and you absolutely do. So here's the 1-1 offering now coming from Lugo, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted into shallow left center field. Coming over is Nemo. He's going to be there. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Profar for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth. We got our friend the hobbyist in the house tonight. We appreciate you for showing up there, Chris. We also have Mick says his Rockies are doing amazing this year, and it's true. Rockies are what I would consider to say overachievers. We think of what they lost in the offseason with Trevor Story and John Gray leaving to the Texas Rangers. Those are the 2 that pop for me. And what ends up happening is here you've got some players having career years. Chris Bryant's doing okay. And then you also have C.J. Cron, who's having himself a very good year offensively. So 2 gone. The runner at first is Ruiz, and Jake Cronenworth here at the plate. Cronenworth is 1 for 3 today. He's got a single in 3 trips. This would be a big win for them to had their lead against the Atlanta Braves. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Cronenworth batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Seth Lugo. They don't have a complete shift on, but they do have McNeil in the shallow outfield grass. There's a changeup that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. The shortstop Lindor is almost over the bag at second base. He's just to the left field side. Giving up a lot on the left side of the infield. So 2 balls and no strikes to Cronenworth. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Cronenworth. Lugo checks the sign, checks the runner at first. They need strike throwers here to the Mets. Don't want to be giving free passes away. There's a fastball that misses down and away. And Cronenworth is aboard with a base on ball, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Manny Machado. So Machado tonight is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. He struck out his last time up, and it was a controversial play as Angel Hernandez with 2 strikes. He was hit by the pitch, and Angel said that he had swung at it and ruled him out. Nothing like Angel Hernandez on Sunday Night Baseball to liven things up. Game was kind of a bit of a snoozer at that point. Nothing in the going into that 6th inning. Next thing you know, Angel makes a call, and the offenses start waking up. It got everybody fired up a little bit. So they have a conference on the mound as the pitching coach for the Mets has come out to have a talk with the pitcher. The hobbyist says Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire in history. Well, there were some other ones that were pretty tragic out there. If they were doing the umpire scorecard, I wonder how Ken Kaiser would have fared back in the day. Some of those umpires back in the 70s and the 60s, whew, it was high-end entertainment for those guys. Our friend Hobbyist says he's slow editing a video while he's listening. This is our late night stuff. This is as late as it's going to go tonight. 6:45 on the West Coast, 9:45 on the East Coast. There was a fastball that just misses low. The count is 1-0 to Machado. So with one swing of the bat here, the Padres could cut the lead to 1. Mick says there are days he roots for the Padres. That would be probably the days that the Braves aren't playing. I always used to say when I was a kid, there are 2 teams that I cheer for, the Tigers and whoever was playing the Yankees. That's changed a little bit now. Now I just cheer for the Tigers and hope that they can get a win. So 1 ball and no strikes to Manny Machado. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats. The first base side of home plate, and that's going to run the count to 1-1. And Machado looked like he wanted to turn that one around. This is a crucial part of the ball game right here. Mick says no MPB or KBO. I think you're asking for tonight. Well, the NPB is going to be on their All-Star game break right now. They got the 2 games coming up this week. So we're going to take a little hiatus from the NPB for a few days, but we'll be back on the call for the weekend. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-2 to Machado. So we're looking forward to those, but it'll be all major league games this week. It'll be the Rangers and the Mariners we're going to do tomorrow night. And we're going to have to sort out the schedule for the rest of the week. We're eyeballing Washington and the Dodgers on Tuesday. Wednesday, nothing. We're not going to do anything on Wednesday. It looks like the Cubs and the Giants are on our calendar for Thursday, and then or possibly Texas and the Angels. And the reason for that is that Shohei Ohtani is pitching on the Thursday, depending on who the Rangers roll out. We would love to be able to see that matchup. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. Lindor fields it over to second, and that is going to retire the runner Cronenworth on a fielder's choice, 6-4. That is going to do it for out number 3. As Machado is done here as well. So for the Padres in their half of the 7th inning, there was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 6.5. It is the Mets 5, the Padres 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the call of the bottom of the 7th inning. We're glad you guys are with us. We appreciate you all here. Hang tight, everybody. Here's our friend Steve.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. That is Steve Rademacher, a supporter of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve. Remember, Money Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. He also brought back his No Filter Friday last week. That is not for the week. Be sure to check it out after the game. We'll be back in just a few with the call of the bottom of the seventh. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the seventh inning, and we are very fortunate tonight to have a big guest. It is Big D in the house, and we welcome him for checking out the channel, and we appreciate you for stopping in. We haven't seen you in a while. We're going to put out an all-points bulletin on his missing in action self, but we're glad he is back in the house. There is going to be a pitching change here for the San Diego Padres, and we'll get you that in just a moment. It's going to be Steven Wilson coming into the ballgame as he's going to be taking over for Nick Martinez. So Steven Wilson is in. Nick Martinez is out. Wilson here in his 2022 rookie campaign pitched fairly effectively for the Padres. He's his 20th appearance. He's 4-1 on the year. He's got an ERA of 3.58. He's worked 27 2/3 innings, allowed 17 hits, 11 runs, all earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 29. He will be the third pitcher used here by Bob Melvin tonight. So Steven Wilson is on in relief. And who is he going to face? Well, it doesn't get any easier. He's going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order. That means Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, and Pete Alonso will be coming up here to face the right-hander Wilson. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Marte. Marte tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He also scored a run. It was the first run of the ball game. He got things going in the last half inning. We got Jessica Fatz in here wanting to know if anyone bet the under 8. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. I'll tell you this, early in the ball game, that probably would have been a wise bet. It looked like the way the two starters were going, it was probably going to be nothing for a long while. And then all of a sudden, that 5-run uprising and the 6th inning by the Mets have made it very entertaining. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Some of our late night gambling crowd comes in for the NPB games. We don't always get the gambling atmosphere in the MLB games that we do, and it's always a bit strange sometimes. Everybody's a little bit different, or every crowd that we get's a little different. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Hobbyist is tapping out. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to be now 2-2. Appreciate you for checking in there, Chris. Our friend Mick says he does both, the NPB and Major League Baseball. He's got the parlays and all the rest of that stuff going on, much like some of our other NPB folk late at night. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marte. Wilson holds at the belt. And now he kicks and he fires. It is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mick says he's even cross-parlayed sometimes. Sports betting is a huge business, massive business. not just in North America, but certainly in Europe for years. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and Marte has got himself a leadoff walk. It's back-to-back innings that he has got himself on board. So he is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that is going to bring up Francisco Lindor. For Lindor tonight, he is 1 for 3. He doubled and scored a run his first time up. He's pulled his average up to 246 on the season. They have Lindor shifted to the right side. They've got the third baseman Machado basically in the shallow 6-hole. If Lindor decided that he wanted to bunt down the third baseline, there would be a very good chance he would probably be successful in getting to the base. And here's the first pitch from Wilson. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mick says it's the same song and dance. Yeah, sometimes it is. So no balls and 1 strike. They're going to have to try to be able to get themselves another run here. See, if this was the Japanese League or the Korean League, maybe not with Lindor, but with everybody else, it would be a bunt situation as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. Our hobbyist says the bunt, what is that? You know, you think about it, you could have moved them over into scoring position. You got 2 cracks to bring them home. You're already up by 4. We were talking about this the other night in the Japanese League, and I was saying about the average score, the average runs scored. Now, of course, it varies team to team, so it's more of a generic comment. It's 4.3 runs a game in Major League Baseball. That was, I think, a couple of seasons ago. So 4.3 runs a game. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Picking up it is Ruiz, and getting all the way around to third is the runner Marte. They cut it off and try to backdoor Lindor at first base. And Lindor has come back sliding in head first, and he's called safe by Angel Hernandez. And right now he's getting all of his stuff off as Lindor. He almost got backdoored on that one. You have to watch that again. Marte was able to go first to third. Lindor made this huge turn. He came literally about halfway to second base, and then Hosmer found his way back to the bag. I'm not so sure if Hosmer wasn't on the bag that he wouldn't have been able to make that play. He was a good solid 4 feet away from the bag. He caught it, and then he had to sweep on Lindor. If he would have been at the base to be able to make the tag, they might have had him. So a single for Lindor. That puts runners on the corners, and it brings the hero Pete Alonso to the plate. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Racing back is Ruiz. He's still moving back. He can't come up with it. The ball, he slams into the wall. The ball is down. 1 run is in. And Lindor is going to be stopped over at third. And cruising into second with a double is Alonso. He's got a double and an RBI. He was just missed another 3-run shot. And the crowd in New York is going crazy. I guess we don't know what a bunt is when we see that happen. So Lindor stops at third. The polar bear is at second. There's nobody out. And that's going to bring Jeff McNeil to the plate. Our friend Mick says, depending on the batter and the KBO, they'll bunt too. Yeah, absolutely. All the Asian leagues will do that. But anyways, I was back to my point about the average game being 4.33 runs a game per team, that is. And obviously, some teams will score more and some will be less. Well, if you get into those bunt situations, you would have to think that if you're in that situation, be able to move runners along. You know, if you can do that 3-4 times a game, you're almost at your run average. And maybe a couple of times you get the big innings. So I don't know why you would want to take the bunt out of the game, or at least take it away from a weapon in your offense. As there's the visit to the mound, and we're waiting right now as the Mets are returning to their bases and Wilson's conference is over. So that brings up the left-handed hitting Jeff McNeil. O'Neill has struggled at the plate tonight. He's 0 for 3. He's flown to center, he's flown to left, and he's grounded to first. So runners are at second and third. Not really sure what the Padres are doing. The right side of the infield is halfway. Left side of the infield is in. And here's the first pitch to McNeil. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to McNeil. Daniel Vogelbach waits on deck. McNeil is really choked up here. It is very, very noticeable. He looks like his bat that he's using is a fungo. And there's a fastball that he swings through and misses, and the count is now 0-2. I don't know. It really looks like it's an abnormally long bat that he's swinging, and then he's choked up on it about 3 or 4 inches, longer than most. So 2 strikes it is to McNeil, and it looks like he's even choked up further with 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul down the left field line. And the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So McNeil digs himself back in, and he's waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Wilson. The runner at second is Alonso. The runner at third is Lindor. Here's the pitch. It is a changeup swung on and missed. And McNeil was way out in front, and he is going to be retired for out number 1 here. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Dan Vogelbach. Well, Vogelbach tonight is 1 for 2 officially. He singled and struck out, but he's also walked and scored a run. This is his first game in a New York Met uniform, and if you want to endear yourself to the Met faithful, picking up an RBI would certainly do that. Mick says, like I said in the beginning, when I saw Musgrove face that New York Heat getting to him, yeah, it's San Diego. Well, San Diego knows what Heat's about. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Vogelbach, and the count is 0-1. We said before that Howard Johnson was the only Met player ever to lead the National League in RBIs. He did it with 117 back in 91. Well, with Pete Alonso's 82 RBIs, the 4 that he has tonight gives him 82. There's a fastball that misses inside. He continues to lead the league. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Polar Bear is certainly a popular persona in the New York Mets organization and also to the fans in New York. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Holding at the belt is the right-hander Wilson. He delivers a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Really trying to tie up Vogelbach, not letting him get his hands extended. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Holding at the belt is the right-hander Wilson. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Vogelbach. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can't ask for better weather for baseball. If you don't like the temperatures in the low 90s and a little bit of the sweat, that's where the balls really start to travel and carry. Best time of the year for baseball. Right here, right now. And here's the pitch from Wilson. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Vogelbach went fishing, and he is gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Mark Canha. So for Canha tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a double, a ground out, and he was hit by a pitch. Now the Padres have relaxed their defense as the infield is moved back now. So Canha is now striding to the plate. Runner at second is Alonso. The runner at third is Lindor. The Mets are trying to add to their lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And it's the first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Wilson certainly has really settled down after the walk, the single, and a double to retire McNeil and Vogelbach on strikes. So no balls and 1 strike as he is ahead here to Canha. Our friend Mick says, come on, Canha. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul behind home plate. It's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We'll give you a full roundup after the game of all the scores around Major League Baseball. This is the only game that is still going on today. It's a full slate of games. Lots of news and notes, lots of movement going on. Of course, there's going to be a trade deadline coming up, so the rumors are flying. Who's going to go where they're going to go. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled straight back. That was too good a pitch at 0-2 by Wilson. Canada would like to have that one back. He was right on time with the pitch. Just got a little underneath it. So no balls and 2 strikes. Alonso establishes his lead over there at second base. Lindor gets his lead at third. Wilson holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul just past the third base coach's box, and that keeps the count at no balls and 2 strikes. He said the Padres were looking to sweep the series with a win tonight. They're trailing 6-1 right now. This is the most offense the Mets have had in the whole series. They only had 2 runs in the first 23 innings, and now they've scored 6 in the last 2. Could have spread that out over a couple of ball games. That might be a little different story. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field, but this ball is going to get hooked foul. It's going to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes to Canada. Just a couple of reminders. As we said, we'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow with the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. So hopefully you guys can pop in and join us for that one. We'd love to have you here. And we'll be fixing up our schedule for the rest of the week. The only game that we probably won't be doing anything is Wednesday. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to third. Machado fields it. He throws on the run. The ball is wild. It's up the line at first base. Canada's digging for 2. It's also going to score Alonso. That's going to be an E5. It's going to cash 2 more runs in here for the Mets, as Canada goes all the way over to second base. And that is going to increase the lead to 8-1 for the Mets here in the 7th inning. And Ruben Hogan is back in here in time just to hear that call. 8-1 for the Mets. Well, it was really a do-or-die play. Machado had no choice but to try to make that play. If he makes the play, it probably ends the inning. He barehands it, throws it on 1 foot on the run. And the ball just sailed on him as it ends up going behind the runner, Canada. And then it was down off of the wall, and they have to go and track it down. Our friend Matt Hollis says they're really putting it on you tonight. Well, they do have a pinch runner in at second base for Canada. It's going to be Travis Jankowski, the former Padre. Now that must be insult to injury. Like going and playing against your former team. So there's still 2 away here. And here's the first pitch to Luis Guillorme, and it's a fastball that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Guillorme tonight is 1 for 3. He's homered in he's singled and knocked in a run his 3 trips to the plate. Ruben says he just took a bet neither team will score in the 8th inning. Yeah, that's probably what will end up happening. They'll come out and they'll lay a couple eggs. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Guillorme batting from the left side. Holding at the belt is Wilson. He checks the runner, Jankowski, at second base. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the left side. Ha-Seong Kim is underneath it. And he backpedals, and now he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it. Oh, it was a bit of a white-knuckle catch there for the Padres fans. But Guillorme is gone for out number 3. Well, there was damage in the inning and lots more of it. There were 3 runs on 2 hits. There was an error, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. It is the New York Mets 8, the San Diego Padres 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you all for being here. Here is our friend Steve again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 8th inning, and there was a big uprising over the last couple innings by the New York Mets. They woke up their offense as they were able to score 5 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th to take an 8-1 lead over the Padres. Coming up for the Padres in their half of the 8th inning, it'll be the heart of the Padre batting order. It'll be Nomar Mazara, Luke Voit, and Eric Hosmer, as they're going to be facing a new pitcher that the Mets are going to march out to the mound. It is going to be the left-hander David Peterson taking over. We can get you all his specifications in just a couple. So Peterson is on in relief. It's his 3rd year with the club at the big league level. He's 5-2 in the season this year. This is only his 3rd appearance that he has had under the bullpen. He's worked 72 1/3 innings. He's got 57 hits allowed. He has allowed 31 runs, 26 earned. He's walked 33 and struck out 84. As he is got 13 starts on the season under his belt. He started 37 out of 40 games pitched in his career, but he is on in relief here to throw the 8th inning. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So interesting. I'm curious to see what the Mets schedule is going to look like here over the next little bit, what they have in mind. So here's the offering, a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1 to Mazara. Mazara today's had a decent ball game. He's 2 for 3. He's also scored the only Padre run. He's raised his average up to 295. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Nomar Mazara. Our friend Mick says that work's going to be slow with no baseball over the next couple nights. Yeah, working those graveyards. I'll be back to help you out in another week or so. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count's going to be 1-2. Thinking about doing some of the NPB games in the month of September, calling the whole schedule of those late night games. I'll have to make a decision on that. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about all the midweek games. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern, and doing all of them during the week. And there's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Mazara stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Luke Voit. So for Voit, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown out to center, and he's walked his other 2 times up. His average is stuck right there at 223. So Peterson ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from the catcher. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Ruben says, let's go 2 more outs for the top of the 8th. Yeah, you got 5 outs in this inning left. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. It's usually what happens. A team will come out and stick up a bunch of runs and then just kills the sails of the other team. So here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Voit. Of course, this was the scene of maybe the city of where Voit had broken out in his career. 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball down, and that runs the count now to 3-1. His years with the New York Yankees, after coming over from the St. Louis Cardinals, really were able to put Voit on the map. And here's the offering. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that is going to be ball 4. That's the third walk tonight that Voit has received, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. For Hosmer, he is 1 for 3 on the evening. He's got a double and RBI, and he's grounded out twice. So he's knocked in the only run for the Padres. His average is stuck at 275. He waggles the bat, and here comes the first offering from Peterson. Peterson kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Hosmer. Well, the food in New York is still going pretty good. Interesting that the person that was visually eating the fries there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. They have a bag policy now in Seattle where it has to be a clear plastic bag. You can't just carry in a backpack with you anymore. I don't know why that is or what the reason for that is. That's happened in a couple places where they don't want people carrying stuff into the ballparks. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. I know Ruben Hogan's in here, and I don't know if they've did it in LA, but Seattle in the Pacific Northwest has gone cashless. You can only buy your stuff in the ballpark using a credit card or a debit card. And I don't know if that's been in place now over in LA or other parts of the country. There's a fastball swung on and is grounded through the 6 hole. Hosmer's got himself a base hit. Stopping at second is Luke Voit. So now the Padres have something brewing here with runners at first and second. That's going to bring Austin Nola to the plate. So I saw that first. I went to Everett to see the single-A team franchise play for the Mariners. I went to buy a coffee at the game, and they said, sorry, we don't accept cash. I'm like, what? And so the Mariners at the big league level are not accepting cash either. It's credit card only. So I'm curious, when the credit card system goes down, what are they going to do? There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Mick says, Hogan, he's got to be cheering for a double play ball right here, and they've got the guy to do it, as Nola does not run particularly well. So here's the offering from Peterson. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. All those people who packed it in are going to miss the greatest comeback in San Diego Padre history. Maybe. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson checks the runner, and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded into right field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to bring Voit all the way around from second. He's going to score. That's going to cut into the lead now. It's going to be 8-2. Stopping at second is Eric Hosmer. So that's an RBI for Austin Nola, and that's going to bring Ha-Seong Kim to the plate. So, Ruben, I hate to tell you, but you can probably tear up your ticket. Our friend Matt Hollis says he's not sure the last time he had cash on him. I carry cash. I don't carry a lot of it, but I always carry cash. Got the pitching coach out to have a word with Peterson. That conference was a quick one. When I go down to the States, I normally carry a certain amount with me. Certainly like to access it from time to time. If I've got it, if I need it, I got it. I don't like to put everything on the credit card. Certainly not a $5 coffee or a dollar donut or whatever. I'm going to pay for that with cash. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Ha-Seong Kim. So the score line is now 8-2. Padres have out-hit the Mets 11-10 tonight. They just haven't been able to string them together as the Mets did. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kim. Kim had a single his first time up. After that, he has flown out to left field twice. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. That would have been ball 3. So he certainly helped David Peterson out there. Nick says, what? Wait, you're Canadian. Last time we checked, yes. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And here comes the offering from the left-hander Peterson, who delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. But Marte is going to make the catch in front of the warning track. And he flicks it back in, tagging it second. Advancing over to third is Hosmer. That's going to retire Kim for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up scheduled to bring up the center fielder Esteury Ruiz. We're going to see if the Padres are going to make a move here, if they're going to let the young center fielder bat here. Our friend Big D says, go Mets. Well, the Mets are definitely doing their job here tonight. They have an 8-2 lead, and it is Ruiz going to face the left-hander Peterson, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Ruiz has pulled his season average up to 273. He's now 6 for 22 on the year. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-1. Our friend Mick says, never had to ask. Yeah. Well, growing up, 20 minutes from old Detroit Tigers Stadium was a lot of fun. It used to take us 5 minutes to get to the border, 5 minutes to cross the border, 5 minutes to find a parking spot, and 5 minutes to get to our seat. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Ruiz. When you're that close, you live in a community like that, there's a lot of overlap. Now it takes me about a good 45 minutes to get to that border. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. Always get a kick out of the crowd as they're diving out of the way as the ball was coming right back at them. There is some action going on in the bullpen. Nick says our favorite show is Trailer Park Boys. Well, they're on the opposite part of the country. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined up the middle. It is fielded on the backhand by McNeil. He throws to first, and that is going to retire the speedy Ruiz. It's going to go down as a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. But the Padres get one back here in the top of the 8th. They had a run in the inning on 2 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the New York Mets 8, the San Diego Padres 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. After this, we appreciate you guys being here with us. Here's our friend Matt again.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, Matt Hollis. Check out his channel after the game, as he is probably drinking in his cervezas right now as these Padres are down 8-2. Our friend Big D says the Trailer Park Boys are a Canadian national treasure. It's true, but you guys have the leading actor in that series name going by Will Voggs, as he is one of your guys down in Charlotte. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the 8th inning, and coming up to bat, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters in the Mets batting order. That means it's going to be Thomas Nido, Brandon Nebo, and Starling Marte. We are going to have a pitching change for Padres as the night is over for Steven Wilson. It is going to be a reliever coming in by the name of Tim Hill. Hill, the 6'4" left-hander coming into the game. He's 2-0 on the season. He's got 30 games pitched. He has 26 innings under his belt, allowing 30 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 12. So he is taking over here, as he will be the 4th pitcher used by Bob Melvin tonight. Side-winding left-hander, and he delivers a first fastball that misses up and away. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. For Nido tonight, he is 1 for 3. He's raised his season average up to 214 on the season. He doubled home a run his last time up. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Hill pitched at Palomar College and also at Bacone College in Oklahoma. Palomar was a D2 school in San Marcos, California, and there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-2, or 1 ball and 2 strikes. Palomar has 10 players to the big leagues for their time. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. And they lost in a national championship to the University of Tampa a number of years back in the early 2000s. They had no all-stars that were produced there. The player with the longest service is Nick Vincent. There is a fastball that is checked, swinged on by Nido, but they did not go up with the right hand. They appealed to Angel Hernandez, but Hernandez said he didn't go. That's going to run the count to 2-2. Nick Vincent, if I'm not mistaken, has just recently signed a contract with the Tigers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to run the count now to 3-2 on Nido. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hill now comes set. And he's ready to deliver it as a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Camping out underneath it is Ruiz. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to be 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Brandon Nebo. For Nebo today, he is 0 for 4. He's grounded out 3 times, and he has flown out to left. His average has dipped down to 264. Our friend Big D said he couldn't hang up in Canada, and that's why he went down to Charlotte. There's a first pitch fastball that is fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nebo. Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-2 for the Mets. There'll be Hill here pitching, and then there'll be the last chance for the Padres to have to score 6 in their 9th. There is a changeup swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to be taken on a couple of hops by Nomar Mazara. Brandon Nemo's got his first hit of the night. That's going to bring up the right fielder Starling Marte. The last couple innings, everything got going for Marte. He singled to lead off the 6th inning and scored a run. He walked in the 7th to lead off the 7th inning and scored a run. The other 2 times he came to the plate, he struck out looking and he flew out to right. So 1 for 3 on the evening for Marte. As the weather has heated up, so too has the Atlanta Braves. They're playing great baseball, the defending World Series champs, and they are currently a game back. But if the Mets hang on to win this, they'll be a game and a half back of the Mets. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's 1-1 to Marte. Matt Hollis says you're going to need a Mets-like 9th inning. You're going to need some instant offense there, Matt. You're going to need to get a bunch of runs in a big hurry. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. Just looking at this stat line for the Padres here, and one of the things that has caught my attention here is the lack of strikes that have been thrown here in the last few innings. Hasn't really burned them. They've only walked 3 guys. As there is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2 to Marte. Here comes the pitch from Hill. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the first base line. The count is going to remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big D jumps in and says the Padres need Soto. Padres need to get their shortstop, Tatis, healthy and back. That'll be like making a midseason trade. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 6 hole into left field. It's going to be a base hit. Before the Padres can be thinking of instant runs, the Mets have got to find a way to be stopped here. There's runners at first and second now with 1 out. It's going to bring Frankie Lindor to the plate, and Lindor is 2 for 2 tonight. He's got a single, a double. He scored a couple of runs, and he struck out twice. Lindor is slowly moving his average up. He's now batting .248 on the season. Matt Hollis says they need Tatis back, and they need Mike Trout. Well, maybe not Trout. He can't seem to stay healthy these days. There was a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Lindor. It's the first time tonight that Lindor has come up right-handed. The switch hitter has faced right-handed pitching the first trips to the plate. So no balls and 1 strike. Here comes the offering from the lefty Hill. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2. Pete Alonso, who has done a lot of damage tonight, waits his turn on deck. He's probably jumping up and down in the batter's box there, or in the on-deck circle, waiting for Lindor to do something here so he could come to the plate. If I'm Alonso, I'm sprinting up to the dish. So no balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Big D says, watch out for some big names to be moved this year. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. Kim fields it on the backhand. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It's a Padre double play. That is going to end the inning. It is a 6-4-3. That was a really nice turn by Kim and by the second baseman Cronenworth. And that is going to do it here in the 8th inning for the Mets. Well, the Mets threaten, but they don't score. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. It is the New York Mets 8, the San Diego Padres 2. Stick around, everybody. We're either going to have the greatest comeback in San Diego Padre history, or it's going to be all over in about 15 minutes or less. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name, and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number, either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deer Dick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Padres. It'll be Jurickson Profar, Jake Cronenworth, and Manny Machado, as they are going to be here to start the inning. And it is going to be a pitching change for the New York Mets. It is going to be Yoli Rodriguez now pitching. So Rodriguez is on in relief. We'll get you all his specs in just a minute. This is going to be the fifth pitcher used. So Rodriguez is in, and the first pitch to Profar is swung on and fouled away, and the count is no balls and one strike. Rodriguez is a left-hander taking over here. This is going to be his 34th appearance. He's got an ERA of 4.94. He's worked 27 and a third innings. So no balls and one strike to Profar. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-1. It's the first time tonight that Profar has switched over to the other side of the plate. The switch hitter had come up the first four times batting left-handed. He's 0 for 4 tonight. He's grounded out to the second baseman 3 times, as well as flown out to center field. As he takes a breaking ball down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Big D is asking if that is where his adopted dad is, Steve Rademacher. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 3-1. Can kind of tell the resemblance. One person got smarter because he moved to Kansas, and the other person stayed in Wisconsin. Actually, that's not true. Moved to Minnesota. That's where Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think they're all the same. Are they not, gentlemen? There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is Jurickson Profar. Thought that would get a response out of Matt Hollis for sure. It's hard to tell in Minnesota and Wisconsin if the trees don't really fork. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be a base on balls to Profar. He's aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth. So Cronenworth comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got himself a single. He's got himself a walk, and he's also popped out to the shortstop and the second baseman. And here's the first offering. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Cronenworth. It was a pretty good ball game, really, for the first 6 innings, as the Mets were no hit through the first 4 innings of this game, and then the wheels fell off the apple cart as there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Padres are going to need some runs here in the Big Apple if they're going to be able to catch back up here. In this one, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 strike. You just need Rodriguez to throw strikes and let him put the ball in play, and hopefully the defense will go to work. So 2-1 strike it is. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-1. So 10 pitches so far for the left-handed reliever, and 7 of those pitches have been for balls. He hasn't been able to figure out the command of his fastball yet. Now here comes the 3-1 offering. Rodriguez holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and it's back-to-back walks to start the top of the 9th inning, and the Padres are not dead yet. That's going to bring Manny Machado to the plate. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out of the New York Met dugout. This is the 3rd trip to the mound in as many innings. One thing I was thinking about, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I mentioned a little bit on the Japanese stream last night, was how is it that hitting coaches don't seem to have as long a life expectancy as pitching coaches do? Pitching coaches seem to be able to have a lot longer life expectancy. But the hitting coaches seem to be flipped over year after year after year, or maybe not every year, but every other year. One would think that the hitting coaches would need more of the help, or the hitters would need more of the help than some of the pitchers would. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Machado. So 12 pitches and 4 of them for strikes so far. The Mets fans are cheering on their reliever here. So no balls and 1 strike. And here's the offering. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to be fair. It's into the corner. It's going to be trouble, and it's going to be extra bases. 1 run is in. Machado is going to slide into second base, and that's going to advance Cronenworth to third. And the score is now 8-3. So all those people that left are probably going to start scrambling back. What is going on in New York? As they've got runners, the Padres do at second and third and nobody out. That's going to bring the right fielder Nomar Mazara to the plate. So Mazara is 2 for 4 tonight. He's got 2 singles. He scored a run. He's grounded into a double play, and he has struck out looking. And I'm sure all those people in Queens who left the ball game early, if you're a fan of the Mets, you say 2 things. A, I want to leave the game with an 8-2 lead and remember what it was. And B, if the Padres come back, I really didn't want to be there to see it. And that looks like we're going to get ourselves a pinch hitter. It looks like it's Jorge Alfaro is stepping up to the plate as he's going to pinch hit for Nomar Mazara. Mazara did struggle against the lefty Peterson his last time up. Alfaro is batting .270. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That was maybe the upper limit of what DJ Brayburn would call. So 8-3 is the scoreline as the Padres have cut back into it. Anybody who had the over-under in this game, if you took the over, you're probably laughing. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field for a base hit. And Alfaro's going to get himself an RBI. Stopping at third is Machado. And that is going to be it, as Buck Showalter has seen enough. And we got ourselves an 8-4 ball game with runners on the corners. And the tying run is on deck. Luke Voigt is coming to the plate. So stick around, everybody. Buck Showalter is making the move to the mound. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Unbelievable. It's going to be Edwin Diaz coming in to have to close this one out. I thought that the closer wouldn't have been used, but nope, here he comes. We'll be right back, everybody. 8-4 Mets.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. What he doesn't tell you is that he can't read the back because Steve really can't read, although it is in French, so we do give him a hall pass for that one. Hang around, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this pitching change. Edwin Diaz coming in relief. Welcome back, everybody. You would have thought that it would have been an easy inning here for the Mets, but nope, they are doing it to themselves as Joely Rodriguez could not retire a batter as he has allowed the first four batters to reach base. And that now is going to bring up the designated hitter, Luke Voit. So for Edwin Rodriguez, who's now coming in relief, he's 2-1 on the season. He's having his best year in a Mets uniform. He has worked 39 games. He's got 20 saves under his belt. He's worked 38 and a third innings. He's allowed 25 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He's walked 12 and struck out 76 in those 38 and a third innings. I got a chance to see Edwin a lot when he was with the Mariners. He was an all-star back in 2018. His rookie year in 2016, he was 5th in Rookie of the Year, battling the Puerto Rican right-hander, now on in relief. And so Luke Voit steps to the plate. For Voit tonight, he's been aboard 3 times. He's 0 for 1 as he flew out to center field. But he has walked 3 times. He has scored a run. Edwin Diaz is having a bit of an issue with his hat and the communication system, and now he has nodded that he is okay and ready to go. So Voit is here, and here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. That might be the best pitch that Voit is going to get this whole at bat. So no balls and 1 strike. It was a good pitch on the outside part of the plate, but Voit had no interest in going the other way with it. That was a really long swing. And there's a breaking ball that is down in the left-handed batter's box that misses for ball 1, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Voit digs in. He's ready to face the offering from Diaz. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up in the infield. Camping out underneath it is McNeil. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Voit for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. For Hosmer tonight, he is 2 for 4. He's got a single, a double. He's grounded out a couple of times. Once of those was into a double play, and he has also driven in a run. So Diaz now ready to go back to work as he gets the sign from his catcher, Nito. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Eric Hosmer. Padres, you have to give them credit. They didn't lay down and roll over here. They're trying to battle back here in the 9th inning. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded to the right side of the infield. A nice play by McNeil ranging into the 4-hole. He just was able to get there. He throws out Hosmer at first. That's going to go down as a ground out 4-3. Hosmer is going to get another RBI. That's going to bring home Machado. The score has now been cut into. It's now an 8-5 ball game. And that is going to bring up Austin Nola to the plate. The only thing that people probably are concerned about now is what was the spread on this game, and are the Mets were the favorite, are they going to be able to cover? So here comes the pitch. It is a slider that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Nola. Nola today is 2 for 4. He's got a couple of singles and RBI. He's also flown out and struck out. And here's a pitch. It is a fastball at 100 miles an hour, swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. Edwin Diaz can really dial it up when he has to. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Diaz kicks and delivers. It's a fastball at 101. Catches the outside corner. I don't know about that pitch, but if it did or not, the home plate umpire, TJ Rayburn, said so it must be true. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2 to Nola. The Mets fans are now on their feet. They're sensing victory. They're smelling blood. As Diaz, pitching with the 3-run lead, is looking to finish off here in the 9th inning. And here comes the offering now to Nola. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. And Nola is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. So Diaz comes in and does the job, as he has to mop it up for the left-hander to end this inning for Rodriguez. There were 3 runs in the inning, and there were on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score, it is the New York Mets 8, the San Diego Padres 5. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up, and we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard when we return in just a few.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's today's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to give you guys the out-of-town scoreboard from around Major League Baseball, as all the games now are completed and finals. We'll first off begin by giving you games from earlier today. The Minnesota Twins knocked off the Detroit Tigers 9-1. It was Sonny Gray getting his 5th win of the year against 3 defeats. Ronnie Garcia takes the loss. He's 3-3. 9-12-0 for the Twins. 1-3-1 for the Tigers. Your final 9-1 Minnesota. The Chicago Cubs knocked off the Philadelphia Phillies and completed a sweep as they beat the Phillies 4-3. Drew Smiley got the win. He's 3-5. Falter takes the loss. He's 0-3. David Robertson got his 14th save for the Cubs. 4-7-1 for the Cubs. 3-9-0 for the Phillies. Again, Chicago the winner. The Toronto Blue Jays marched into Boston with a whole bunch of bats this weekend and knocked off the Red Sox again 8-4. 8-15-0 for the Blue Jays, 4-9-3 for the Red Sox. Meza gets the win for the Jays. He's 4-0. Bello takes the loss. He's 0-2. Again, your final 8-4 Blue Jays. The Los Angeles Angels knocked off the Braves today, 9-1. It was Reed Detmers getting his 3rd win of the year against 3 defeats. Ian Anderson takes the loss. He's now 8-6. 9-13-1 for the Angels, 1-6-1 for the Braves. That is your final score. In 10 innings, the Marlins knocked off the Pirates today, 6-5. Anthony Bass got the win for the Marlins in relief. Bednar takes the loss for the Pirates. Brigham gets the save. That was his 1st of the year. 6-11-1 for the Marlins. 5-6-2 for the Pirates. Your final 6-5, Florida or Miami. The Yankees knocked off the Orioles 6-0. It was Nestor Cortez getting his 8th win of the year. He's 8-3. Kramer takes the loss for the Orioles. He's 3-2. Schmidt gets the save. It was his 1st. 6-13-0 for the Yankees. 0-8-0 for the Orioles. Again, your final score, 6-0 for the Yankees. It was the St. Louis Cardinals falling to the Cincinnati Reds 6-3 today. It was Tyler Mahle getting the win. He goes to 4-7. Miles Michaelis took the loss. He's now 7-8. Hunter Strickland got his 5th save for the Reds. 6-13 6-7-0 for the Reds, 3-3-0 for the Cardinals. Again, your final, Cincinnati 6-3 over the Redbirds. Kansas City Royals got a win today. They beat the Tampa Bay Rays 4-2. It was Chris Bubik getting the win. He's 2-6. Brooks Rowley takes the loss. He's 1-1. Clark got the save for the Royals. Was his second. 4-14-0 for the Royals. 2-5-0 for the Rays. Again, your final 4-2 Kansas City. The Guardians for Cleveland traveled to Chicago to play the White Sox. Dylan Cease got his 10th win of the year against 4 losses. He knocked off Shane Bieber today, who's now 4-6. 6-8-0 for the White Sox. 3-11-0 for the Guardians. Your final again, 6-3 Chicago. It was a seesaw affair in Milwaukee. The Brewers and the Rockies brought out their bats today. In relief, Brent Suter got the win. He's 3-3. It was Colomé taking the loss. He goes to 2-3 for the Rockies. Hader got his 28th save. 10-12-0 for the Brewers. 9-13-0 for the Rockies. Your final was 10-9 Brew Crew. The Rangers went into Oakland and knocked off the Athletics 11-8. 11-16-0 for the Rangers. 8-12-1 for the A's. Martin Perez gets his 8th win of the year against 2 losses. Blackburn takes the loss. He's 6-6. The Washington Nationals knocked off the Diamondbacks 4-3. It was Carl Edwards Jr. in relief getting the win. He's 3-3. Joe Mantiply takes the loss. He's 1-3. Finnegan gets his 2nd save for the Nats. 4-9-3 for the Nats. 3-10-1 for the Snakes. Final again, 4-3 for Washington. In Seattle, the Mariners were swept away by the Astros. After winning 14 straight, the Mariners dropped 3 in a row at home to the Astros. The final today was 8-5, 8-12-0 for the Stros, 5-9-0 for the Mariners. Framber Valdez gets the win. He's 9-4. Robbie Ray the loss. He's 8-7. It was Presley who got his 20th save for the Stros. In Los Angeles, it was a battle between Alex Cobb and Clayton Kershaw, but the win went to Phillips in relief. It's his 5th of the year against 3 losses. Dominic Leone takes the loss for the Giants. Craig Kimbrell got his 17th save. 7-12-1 for the Dodgers, 4-7-0 for the Giants. Again, your final score is 7-4 Los Angeles. And then in this one here, the final score was the Mets 8, the Padres 5. 8-12-0 for the Mets, 5-13-1 for the Padres. Drew Smith got the win in relief for the Mets. Musgrove takes the loss. He drops to 8-3. Edwin Diaz comes on to record his 21st save. The big blow of the game was the Pete Alonso 3-run homer in the 6th. And he followed it up with an RBI double in the 7th. He knocked in half the runs tonight for the New York Mets. All right, everybody. Once again, it's been another Last Rounds Baseball video production. We're going to be on again tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can come on back and join us. We're going to be doing the Rangers and the Mariners. We'll be posting up our schedule for the rest of the week, and hopefully you can be there to join us. Have a great night, everybody. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you again later. Have a great night.
All I